Well, it was one of my tailor-made suits, but that's okay, you know. I mean, I'll let you have it after I try to give these to the Salvation Army, but I'll let you have it.
I don't know if I'd be able to fit. I'll be quite honest with you.
Well, you know,
we're built differently. If that
yes,
makes
we are, but you might squeeze in. Anyway, what a heck of a game last night.
While offense came out and shelled the Florence Freedom starter in George Foe, scoring 5 runs, sending 9 men to the plate in the second inning, and route to a 10-1 victory. I think it all started with the pitching last night from Austin Nicely.
It did. He started off, and again, all of our starting pitchers, whether it's man that's pitching tonight, and I'm afraid to say his name because I don't want his grandmother calling.
So just call him Tyler.
Oh, Tyler, good. All right, Tyler's pitching today. Tyler or the Snake or Bob Welsh's son. I mean, every one of them have done yeoman job for the Otters as a starter. Mm-hmm. I mean, here, I'm going to say within the last 2-3 weeks, I mean, here's starting of the game. In the first inning, the Otters closed down the door. The second inning, the Otters closed the door. The third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, maybe the fifth, sixth, or seventh, they might get their first hit or their first run. But other than that, the Otters have done outstanding starting pitchers. And last night was no difference when Nicely threw a nice game. Got that.
There we go. Yeah, he retired 12 of his 13 first batters. He had a no-hitter with 2 out. He could have had a no-hitter with 2 outs in the fourth. Caleb Lopez had a single, and that was the end of it. But for the most part, Nicely pitched well. I believe it was just a minor injury that he had yesterday because he was ready to go into the 8th, but you noticed during his warm-up pitches that something just didn't sound right.
Right. I couldn't understand it. You know, when Calabrese went out, and then all of a sudden here comes Andy, and you say, what did he do wrong? I mean, you know, he struck the batter out to end the inning before, and that was on a curveball, and I thought, what the heck? You know, it couldn't be his arm because he didn't have problems. So whatever it is, I hope it isn't too bad. But, no, Nicely pitched, and I would have loved to have seen him go 9 and got the shutout, and that would have been morale-wise to the pitching staff to say, hey, you know, we got a terrific team and whatever. But, unfortunately, we lost the shutout, and but he got the win. That's what counts.
Yes. So Austin Nicely improves to 6-7 on the season. We're going to get to our pregame interview. I talked to Rob Calabrese, who will wave hello to you sometime from South Amboy or from Tottenville.
Right, that's what I'm waiting for. Across the Raritan Bay, the Raritan River, which is part of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right. Well, we'll get there, and then the starting lineups of first pitch and the rubber match between the Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom. This is the Otters pregame warm-up right here on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
Now let's go inside the clubhouse for today's one-on-one with the Evansville Otters.
Dave Newton here with Otters catcher Rob Calabrese. Rob, you most recently hit a home run in the series against the Southern Illinois Miners, and you put a sweet swing on that pitch. Just take me through it.
Well, I was just trying to get a pitch over the plate, and I was just trying to stay to the middle, and he threw me a changeup, and I caught a little out in front and got a good part of my bat and hit it pretty far.
And I've noticed throughout the season, you tend to favor left field or left center field whenever you hit the ball, either in the outfield or out of the park. Is that just an area you've been concentrating on, or is that just where the ball happens to land?
I think it's just more where it happens to land. You know, it's weird. My approach is usually to go for right center, but with my swing and just the type of swing I have, I tend to work left center a lot. And I mean, it's not by choice, but I guess when I do get in the air left field, that's where I have my most power, I guess.
Now, how does it just feel to play meaningful baseball games, knowing that whenever you come to the ballpark, you see the standings every day before you come into the clubhouse?
Man, it's great, you know, just to know each game's going to be really competitive and just have that playoff atmosphere. I mean, each game against Southern was a really tight one, and you know, that's how it's going to be. I think we got this game, and then we got this series in one more week. So I mean, this last week and a half, it's going to be a very tight. It's going to be a tight race. Say, you know, I think we got Southern Illinois again for 3. We got Florence for 3, and then I don't know who the other 3 is, but I expect each game to be tight, and it's going to be fun.
Now, I know there was a hitters meeting earlier in the month, and while the content or what was said was not good for radio, the content was, and I think everyone kind of woke up a bit. What can you take from that meeting back in the beginning of August, and how has what was said carried through to this point now?
I think the meeting had a lot of good meeting, and just, you know, being able to do little things like getting people over, hitting people in, you know, when they're on third with less than 2 outs. We've been struggling in that area, and if you want to win playoff games, you know, you got to be able to do those little things, because that's how good teams win. You know, we're gonna play a lot of games that are gonna be low-scoring games, 2-1, 3-1, you know, 1-0, 2-0, and you got to get those runs when you got guys on third with less than 2 outs. It's a huge factor of this game, especially, you know, with the teams that are in this playoff race. They got good pens, you know, so you got to try and score early, and, you know, let our really good pitching just do their job.
Now, what I noticed through the Southern Illinois series is that the offense was resilient, and overall the clubhouse seemed even-keeled, knowing that, hey, it's only 1 run or whatever the case may be, and you guys never gave up. What does that speak about the entire team?
Resilient, huh? Where'd you get that word from, Riz?
Yes.
I mean, when the other team scores early on us, you know, we got a very relaxed vibe in our dugout. You know, we got a lot of great guys who have a lot of good energy, and, you know, we know that we could score 3 or 4, you know, in any inning. You know, we got a pretty good lineup, and we're not worried at all. You know, we know as a team that we'll get it going sooner or later. You know, we're not too worried that, oh no, like we didn't score or we're down, or we're screwed. We usually get going, you know, and we're not really afraid of it being down.
Rob Calabrese, thank you so much. We'll get back to the starting lineups and first pitch. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Sheet Metal Workers Local 20 and SMACNA, the Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, have the most qualified sheet metal and HVAC contractors in the Evansville area. To find a list of our qualified union contractors, visit unionsheetmetalindustry.com.
Oh, excuse you, Bill. Welcome back on the air as Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the Otters pregame warm-up. Managers are out at home plate, so let's get to today's starting lineups. Batting first for the Evansville Otters will be David Cronin at second base. Batting second, playing center field, will be Keith Griesaver. Batting third will be the third baseman Ryan Long. Batting fourth and cleanup will be the right fielder Elijah McNamee. Batting fifth will be the left fielder Taylor Lane. Batting sixth will be the catcher Rob Calabrese. Batting seventh will be the designated hitter Mike Rizzatello. Batting eighth will be the first baseman Jack Meggs. And batting ninth, the shortstop J.J. Gould. On the mound will be Tyler Beardsley, coming in with an 8-3 record, 2.63 ERA, and 100.1 innings pitched. He has 108 strikeouts and only 33 walks. And what has made Beardsley effective is his fastball command, his slider, and he's been working on his cutter. So we look for the breaking ball from Tyler Beardsley today to keep the Florence Freedom hitters off balance. For the Florence Freedom, Batting first, playing third base, will be Luis Pintor. Batting second will be the center fielder, Ricky Ramirez Jr. Batting third will be the second baseman, Caleb Lopez. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter, Andre Mercurio. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, Isaac Bernard. Batting sixth will be the left fielder, Trevor Craport. Batting seventh will be the catcher, Ryan Rinsky. Batting eighth will be the shortstop, Austin Wobrock. And batting ninth will be the first baseman, Connor Crane. If there's anyone you want to keep an eye on for the Florence Freedom lineup, it is Connor Crane. He has 12 hits or 13 hits, 12 RBIs against the Otters this year in the 9-hole spot.
Yes, and one of the strikeout artists within the league. He's got close to 100 strikeouts. However, he has hurt us. He came in that first game Friday night, and he got that big double. And then last night, he got the base hit that drove in that the RBI, the one run. You're right. He may look bad and have not that good of an average, but he seems to hit us well, as you so rightfully said.
On the mound for the Florence Freedom will be Mike Castellani. He is 8-2 with a 2.73 ERA and 115.1 innings pitched. He has 64 strikeouts and 20 walks. The Otters have faced Castellani before. He pitches well, but the Otters have hit him, not for a lot of runs, but they've been able to hit Castellani. Today should be a good pitcher's duel. One pitcher today might earn his 9th win. The other one might have another loss today, as Tyler Beardsley and Mike Castellani square it off as the Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom will play in a rubber match momentarily. A game and a half separates the Otters and the Florence Freedom in the Frontier League West Division standings. We'll get to first pitch from Bossy Field on a Sunday afternoon of baseball. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The pizza brick road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the pizza brick road. Road down to Tyroni's. The pizza brick road. The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's.
It's game time for the Otters on 91.5 FM WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
3-1. Long. Toward right. Toward the corner. Toward the foul pole and over the wall. Fair. Home run for Ryan Long.
First pitch. Cronin crushes it in the air to deep right field. He back flips it and it's way out of here.
Don't forget, Otters fans, you can catch every Evansville Otters broadcast on 91.5 FM WUEV, online at evansvilleotters.com, and through the WUEV mobile app.
Roxon deals the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside corner. Vail rings opens up Bissell to end it, and the Otters are going back to the postseason.
Now, let's go out to the ballpark for all of the action.
Won't get heat stroke,
Well, we hope not.
and it seems like we're going to have a pretty good crowd.
Well, I hope so. Let's get to the infield for the on the mound. Tyler Beardsley, a 2.63 ERA, an 8-3 record, 108 strikeouts and 33 walks on the year for Beardsley. Behind the plate will be Rob Calabrese. At third base will be Ryan Long. Shortstop will be J.J. Gould. David Cronin at second base, and Jack Meggs at first. And left field, Taylor Lane. Center field, Keith Griesaber. And in right field, Elijah McNamee. Bill, what can be a key for you today as the Otters will try to be victorious?
Well, it's the old story as far as pitching goes, and that is Mr. Tyler has to throw strikes.
Okay.
And that is going to be the determining factor of the game, whether he can throw strikes. If you throw strikes, you keep batters off the bases insofar as walks or hits batters, whatever it may be. And just like last night, what do we have? Nicely going into the 8th inning, and he only gave up 2 hits. He was throwing strikes all night long, strikes. In fact, nicely threw 7 complete innings and only had 5 strikeouts, but he didn't have any walks. There is the secret.
Limit the walks, throw strikes, put the ball in play. And despite what people say, Beardsley says he's not a strikeout pitcher, but his numbers say otherwise.
I would agree with you. 104 strikeouts is that's quite an accomplishment. How many pitchers in this league have that many?
Not a whole lot.
I think we have another one on our staff with it has 100.
And Jake Welch, absolutely. Yeah. The Irishman would have had 100 strikeouts if he was still here.
Yeah.
First pitch, Luis Pintor has a called strike on the outside corner. On the outer third of the strike zone from Tyler Beardsley, 0-1 the count to the right-handed batter, Luis Pintor. He's 2 for 8 in the series with a single, a double, and a fielder's choice. He gets another strike, 2 on the outer third once more. 0-2 the count, no outs, top first, underway at Bossy Field. Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom in a heated Frontier League West Division showdown. The next pitch is a slider down and away from Beardsley, and the count moves to 1-2. Pintor does not bite.
No, but the pitch before was, so out of 3 pitches, the first one's a fastball for a strike, the second one's a slider for a strike, and the third one's another slider.
Here's the 1-2. That goes down and in from Beardsley, and the count is now even at 2.
So it's two sliders and 2 fastballs. And there's a pretty good crowd out there at Bud Light Patio.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Beardsley starts the day with a strikeout.
I don't know if you noticed, but that was a change.
Oh.
I mean, he had that.
Must have been the cutter he's been working on.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, whatever it was, it's probably about a 60-mile-an-hour fastball. And that batter was so confused.
Swung out of his shoes.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I mean, he was swinging and the ball never even reached the grass part yet.
That's right.
Or the dirt part.
To the plate now is Ricky Ramirez Jr., who's 0 for 7 in the series. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1 as Beardsley throws a fastball down and away. Ramirez hitting .287 on the season. 52 RBIs and 7 home runs. Here's the 1-0 from Beardsley. And this will be a second pitch foul down the third base line. Count even at 1, and when talking to Beardsley, what has made him effective, and we've seen it throughout this, at least the second half of the season, first pitch strike just makes a big difference in the at-bat.
Well, psychologically it does, yeah. You got the advantage. You throw a strike the first pitch, yeah. Wow.
1-1 is outside for ball 2.
Your tempo within yourself is at a high degree.
Working quickly on the mound, not trying to waste any time, is Tyler Beardsley. And he kicks and fires a 2-1 pitch. And that'll be a fastball just a bit outside, and the count moves to 3-1.
Am I wrong in saying that Mr. Harris is working the third game behind home plate? He worked last night.
It is
there.
Mr. James Purnell behind home plate. Got to be careful when he's calling a strikeout. 3-1, and that it will be outside for ball 4.
Well, Mr. Purnell has worked the plate then last night and tonight.
I believe Creel was working behind the plate last night.
All right. Well, then.
We have Mr. Harris in the field today.
Okay, well, then I'm getting my umpires mixed up. I better buy a scorecard.
No worries. To the plate now with 1 out and 1 man on is Caleb Lopez, who is 1 for 7 in the series with a single. First pitch to Lopez from Beardsley. Fastball, trying to get that outer third of the strike zone. Doesn't get the call, and it's a count at 1-0. Lopez batting .258 on the year. He has also struck out 3 times in this series. The 1-0 pitch, a foul ball down the third base line. Caught towards the middle part of his bat, and the count is even at 1 with 1 out.
I'm looking at the third baseman, Ryan Long, and here you got the second batter, Ramirez up. I don't know his speed, but he's playing deep. And after the game last night, I was talking to Mr. Cronin.
That's right.
And being a minute, I'll answer it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Beardsley. Swing and a miss. And then afterwards, a late foul tip, and his count now at 1-2.
And anyway, he said to me, when that pitcher that was throwing the knuckleball came in, he said, why didn't our batters bunt to third? You know, and I said, you're right. That third baseman played so deep that even my grandmom could have, laid a bunt down and beat it out.
I think you could have as well.
Well, that's true.
1-2 is a slider down and away from Beardsley. Lopez doesn't bite, and it's a count even at 2 with 1 out.
I used to go down first base playing the piano and singing the national anthem all at the same time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I had tremendous speed. 4.5, 4.6. The average guy ran down there 4.2. But I outdid him.
Okay. 2-2 the pitch. Here it is. Oh, that hits him.
Hit him. What did I say before the game? No hit, no walks, and no hits batters.
That's the 3rd time Lopez has been hit in the series. So now runners on first and second after the strikeout to Luis Pintor. Ramirez walks, and Lopez was plunked in the back. And it's now the cleanup hitter, Andre Mercurio, who's also been hit 3 times in the series.
Yep.
Ground ball could get the Otters out of the inning rather quickly.
Didn't we execute a tremendous double play last night?
Yes, we did.
I mean, bang, bang, bang.
All started with a man at hot corner and Ryan Long.
Yeah, and a guy on second base who gets rid of that ball faster than Jack Robinson.
He was a special player.
Yep.
First pitch to Mercurio is down and in for ball 1. I think what a lot of people don't realize about Jackie was that he had excellent speed on the base path.
For his weight and size.
That's right.
He had quickness. Quickness coupled with speed. Remember when he stole home? Yogi Berra still's arguing he was out.
Oh, yeah. 1-0. That's a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, in the World Series, he stole home, and Yogi Berra jumped up and down. Yogi was the catcher, and, of course, the Dodgers were playing
the Brooklyn Dodgers were playing the Yankees.
Yes.
Yes. 1-1 the count, 1 out. Runners on first and second for the Florence Freedom. Top of the first, no score. Beardsley would check the runner at second. The 1-1 is fouled behind home plate. Count moves to 1-2. Ryan Long helped turn a 5-4-3 double play last night that Bill just mentioned moments ago. And a double play is a pitcher's best friend.
Oh, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
1-2 the count. 1 out. Beardsley looking to get another out or a double play to get out of the frame. Here's the 1-2. Line to center field. Greasaber moves up and will make the catch and rifle the ball right into the shortstop, J.J. Gould, for out number 2. Keith likes center field.
Yeah, but he's a converted infielder who had to learn to play left field. He did an excellent job in learning and turned out to be a fine left fielder. But, you know, left field, center field, and right field are all different positions. They all take individual talent. Not knocking Keith. I like him, but he doesn't have the range or the arm or the coverage.
Serves better in left.
That Cullen does. And right, he does an excellent job in left. I mean, this way he can go back. He's got that fence, and it's shorter now in center field. He's got to run from where he is to the length of a football field to get back to where the center field fence is.
Isaac Bernard now steps to the dish. He has an 0-1 count from Beardsley. And Beardsley takes his time checking the runner at second, and he throws a fastball down and in for strike 2. Catches the inner third against the lefty in Isaac Bernard. Bernard is 2 for 10 in the series. He had that 2 RBI double in the 8th inning on Friday night to give the Freedom at the time a 3-2 lead. 0-2 the count. Beardsley will come set. Now fires an 0-2. There's a foul ball that's popped fly out of play down the third base line. And the count remains at 0-2. With Florence throwing 3 straight left-handed starters in this series, the Otters skipper Andy McCauley had to adjust his lineup accordingly. Last night, when Hunter was in the lineup, it proved to be successful. 0-2 pitch was outside for ball 1.
Well, having you said that, Hunter is probably has the best hitting average or batting average against Florence, and yet he's not in the lineup. And I know he got last night. He got 1 for 4. He got that big hit, and of course he lobbed that one. I thought was going to fall over to third baseman's head.
That's right.
He didn't get it, but
the 1-2, Papa, foul territory. Long will come in.
Got plenty of room.
And then he runs out of room.
Yeah.
That's another 1-2 count after a foul ball.
When I saw him slow down, I thought he was, had the range or had the ability to catch it. I guess he was slowing down because he was getting close to the tarp. Of course, you could run into the tarp. You're not going to hurt yourself.
Now, there's a hard hit ball Hunter hit last night that I think you and I agree that he was safe.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there was another one. Yes.
So Hunter, we believe, should have been 2 for 4 last night.
Right. And he made a couple good catches out there in center field that possibly could have been doubles for someone else.
Here's the 1-2 once more. It's a fly ball, shallow center. Charging is Greasaber, but making the catch is J.J. Gould from shortstop. Tyler Beardsley gets out of the jam as the Florence Freedom leave 2 runners on. We head to the bottom of the first. No score from Bossy Field on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Hello, this is Jared McIntosh, and I want to invite you and your family to a very special outdoor musical event. The Praise in the Park event is happening on August 24th from 11 to 1 at the Line Street Church of Christ, located downtown Evansville at 756 Line Street. We're going to have great food, great fun, and some of the best a cappella singing you've heard this side of the Midwest. Join us once again on August 24th at 756 Line Street, downtown Evansville. Praise in the Park.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Here in the ballpark.
Frankie!
As Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune are on the call. Bottom first, no score. Otters up to bat. It'll be Cronin, Griesaber, and Long. Batters 1, 2, 3 in the order against Mike Castellani, coming in with an 8-2 record and a 2.73 ERA.
You know, I invited...
First pitch to Cronin will be a called strike on the outside corner.
I invited Dave's father to come up and say hello to us.
He said he'll try to make a trip today.
Okay.
Yep.
And I met Dave's mother last night after that. Yes, very, very nice woman.
0-1 the count to Cronin. Here's the next pitch. And it'll be down and in towards his feet to even the count at 1. Pintor at third base, playing on the edge of the infield grass. Wobrock at shortstop. Caleb Lopez at second. Connor Crane at first. Ryan Rinsky behind the plate, the third time in this series. Here's the 1-1 from Castellani. It's fouled off the barrel of the bat of Cronin to move the count to 1-2. Left field we have Ian Craport. Center field Ricky Ramirez Jr. And in right field Isaac Bernard. Bernard and Crane batting towards the bottom of the Florence Freedom lineup have hurt the Otters throughout this series and throughout the season.
Yep. Well, you know, it's like last night when you look at Ryan Long got 2 RBIs and Big Mac got 3 RBIs.
As the next pitch to Cronin is down and away for ball 2.
And then you had Dakota get 2 RBIs. There are your third, fourth, and fifth hitters, all contributing. There you had it right there. There was 2, 2, and 3. That is 7.
Yes. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Count remains even at 2. So with Phillips, Long, and McNamee contributing in the RBI column, Cronin had one yesterday as well. Cronin reached base in all 4 of his plate appearances. 2 walks, 2 singles, and 3 runs scored.
Oh, yeah. He had a perfect night at the plate.
Here's the 2-2. It'll be another chopper. So the thing with a lefty matchup, the advantage might go to the pitcher, but until you play it out, supposedly the advantage will go to the pitcher, correct?
Well, I don't know. You know, I was a right-hand hitter, and I hated left-hand pitchers.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'd rather a righty.
2-2 is a pop-up foul on the roof to even the count at 2.
And the reason I say that, Dave, is simply because when a righty was throwing a curveball to me or a slider, it means it was coming over the plate and then breaking away so I could see it, compared to the left-hander who was throwing the curveball over the plate but coming down by my ankles, and I was swinging and missing. So I hated lefties.
Here's the 2-2. It'll be down and away for ball 3. I got to tell you, what you said is accurate.
Well, thank you.
But not only that, the reason why Cronin has been a staple at the top of the lineup, this at-bat is a quality example. And here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a ground ball foul down the first base line. It would be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. And he knows how to bat accordingly in a position like this. He's used to it.
Well, as you say, he had 2 hits last night. He had 2 walks. How many walks has he got for the season? I'm going to say close to 50. I'm going to say 45, 46.
I'll double check you on that one. Hold on.
Okay.
Payoff pitch. That's another walk. So before that walk, Cronin had, you're right, 46, and now 47.
Do you want to get the gold ring?
I got a couple bucks in my pocket if you want it. Keith Grieshaber to the plate. Keith is 3 for 8 in the series with a triple and 2 singles. He had that triple on Friday night in the first inning, and unfortunately was left stranded.
Right, he was. That was a heck of a play that he got over on third base. It didn't even have to slide. He just walked over there or strolled over, whatever.
The throw coming in was close, though.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah.
He takes a first pitch ball from Castellani. Count at 1-0 with no outs. No score, bottom first. Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom in a rubber match today for the 4th consecutive time. Swing and a miss, and Castellani goes with an off-speed breaking ball down and in, moving the count even at 1.
Yeah, he was way out in front of that one. He got fooled. You're talking about those Florence players and that right fielder and that center fielder, Ramirez.
Mm-hmm. There's a throw over to first.
I mean, we witnessed last night some of the great arms that they got. I mean, they threw, ball was in the air at least 300 feet. It arrived at the spot on time and had good location.
There's a fly ball foul down the first base line.
You know, one of the, I had the pleasure of playing with Horace Gardner here, and I think I mentioned earlier what a great arm he had, that other teams would stop and look at his arm. He could throw from anywhere in right field and could pinpoint and nickel on home plate. That's how accurate and strong his arm was. But, hold that but.
Okay. The 1-2. We're down and away for ball 2.
But in a game, that was infield, outfield prize. But in a game, he was up the line and he would knock the pitcher over. He had one of the worst accuracy there was. And the one time he did throw it perfect, I dropped it at home plate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I made the error. I guess I was so surprised.
Keith Grieshaber calls time, and I have a special message from the athletic trainer, Sarah Zirk. It is her mother, Sheila's birthday. She says, Mom, thank you for all your love and support. I wouldn't be here where I am today without you. Grieshaber will line this ball to right center field. Playing it is Ricky Ramirez Jr. in center and making the catch for out number 1. Happy birthday. Love, Sarah. And P.S. hello to her father, Chuck.
And that is who now?
The athletic trainer, Sarah Zirk.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, okay.
It is her mother, Sheila's birthday today.
Oh, okay.
So
I got
Sheila,
the mother, but I thought it was Mother T you were talking about. Okay.
Mother T is here.
Yeah.
But I believe she's in the stands.
Okay.
So, Sheila, hope you enjoy the rest of your day and hope it can start with an Otters victory. Ryan Long will swing and foul the first pitch back behind home plate, and the count is at 0-1.
I wish Ryan would just follow through with that bat instead of when he goes and he picks the bat up, and that's why he's fouling so many off.
0-1 the count, 1 out.
He's got to swing through it.
0-1 pitch.
Now there, that was swinging through it. That's it. All right, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. He'll swing and miss and move the count to 0-2 with 1 out. Cronin in a good runner's stance at first.
Well, I notice Mr. Rinsky's got a pretty good arm, but it may not be accurate.
0-2 pitch. That's outside for ball 1. Entering today's game, the Otters and Freedom are the top 2 teams in the base stealing category. The Florence Freedom, entering today, have 136 stolen bases in 186 attempts, whereas the Otters have 116 stolen bases in 166 attempts. Here's a chopper to the shortstop, Wobrock, to second for 1, to first.
Safe.
And Ryan Long beats out the throw. It'll be a fielder's choice for Ryan Long. Cronin out at second on the 6-4 putout.
See, now, what Ryan did is he slapped at that one. That's why it went to the shortstop. He slapped. He didn't get that good swing in there, and that's what he's got to do.
Elijah McNamee to the plate, had 3 RBIs last night.
Yeah, we talked about quite a bit about Big Mac, his defense and his offense. I mean, he was a great addition, and you said, he's out.
And Ryan Long gets caught at first base.
Leaning.
And he did not get back in time. The Otters, unfortunately, are retired, and Long will try to shake that one off. We head to the top of the second. No score from Bosse Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
The Evansville Otters play here on 91.5 FM WUEV.
While you're broadcasting this game, Dave, I'll make a comment, if I may.
No worries. Here's the first pitch to Trevor Craport, and he takes a called strike one from Tyler Beardsley as we're in the top of the second. No score from Bosse Field between the Otters and the Freedom.
Our engineer, Paul Mattingly, back at the radio station, is playing Frank Sinatra songs in between and compliments. And I would just like to mention that I go back to the 40s when my mother and Mrs. Lovely, they would woo. I mean, when Frankie would come on, they'd woo.
Swing and a miss on 3 pitches from Beardsley. There's out number 1.
And I'll tell you, Frankie at that time wore a bow tie, and if he weighed 90 pounds, he was lucky. He was like a stick. And, you know, my mother, Frankie, come on, Mom. Ooh! Well, those were the good days. So thank you, Paul.
No worries. Whew. We're in the top of the second, 1 out, no score, with Ryan Rinsky to the dish. His first pitch from Beardsley. Fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Rinsky in the series is 1 for 6 with a single and an RBI ground out. His 0-1 from Beardsley.
Should be. That should have been strike 2.
Unfortunately, it's ball 1.
Yeah. I think I did tell you that his mother, Frankie Sinatra's mother, had a nightclub down there in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah?
On the boardwalk.
1-1.
Well, actually, not on the boardwalk, about a block off the boardwalk. And she was a little hefty woman, and she sat by the door. Frankie gave her all his weight.
The 2-1.
The strike 2.
So could be a called strike 3. Instead, it's a count even at 2.
Yeah, she sat there. I guess she checked you out, you know what I mean?
Here's the 2-2. Chopper over the pitcher's mound. Cronin has a slow roller, throws over to first. There's out number 2.
Now, if you notice, Tyler could have fielded that ball. It was so, if you notice, he went down with the glove, then he pulled back. He had second thoughts.
I think that was the right play.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying what he did. I'm not criticizing
I
him.
think it was natural instinct to try to go after the ball, and
Well,
then I
that's
realized I
true.
probably couldn't get it, and I'll leave it to my all-star second baseman.
Right, more competent fielder.
To the plate now is Austin Wobrock, the shortstop, and he takes a called strike 1 from Beardsley.
And he's wearing those clown shoes. I mean,
Clown shoes? Well, I call them flash shoes.
Oh, my goodness.
But we can agree to disagree.
Well, what I'm trying to say is the clowns that are out front there in the foyer, I mean, they wear shoes just like this guy. So maybe he borrowed them before the game.
0-2 pitch. That'll be down and in for ball 1. So I know you're not a big superhero guy, but if you're a fan of the DC comic universe, those colors that Austin Wobrock has are the colors of the Flash. The Flash, his superpower, if you could guess correctly, is super speed.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Super speed.
Your grandchildren do.
Oh, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure.
The 1-2. It'll be fouled down the third baseline, and the count remains at 1-2. And these next 3 batters that Beardsley has faced, or the past 3 batters, I should say, he's been ahead 0-1 in each count. He fires another 1-2 pitch. It'll be almost a leaping grab by David Cronin.
Yes.
The height was there. The glove was there. But unfortunately, that will fall for a hit as the ball went past the outstretched glove of David Cronin in right field.
Well,
the first hit Beardsley has allowed today.
Well, you know, infielders have the short finger gloves. The outfielders and pitchers have the long finger gloves. Now, if Dave Cronin had the long finger gloves, he would have caught that. It's amazing because it did go off the tip of his glove. Would have been an outstanding.
He wishes he had that play back, too.
Oh, yeah. But he did leap in the air. He did make a good attempt. And, you know, that's what you like about the Otters. They try hard, they play hard, and they give you 100%.
To the plate now is Connor Crane, who unfortunately has hit the ball well against the Otters this entire season. 13 hits, 12 RBIs entering today against the Otters. His 1-0 pitch. That'll be a called strike 1. Down the heart of the plate to even the count at 1 with 2 outs. Crane has 3 RBIs in the series alone with 2 singles and a triple. Beardsley from the belt will come set. Shrugs his shoulders. Now fires a 1-1. That'll be a foul tip off the mask of Calabrese. And the count moves to 1-2.
Yep.
I don't know if I asked you earlier, but when you were a catcher, see, Riz has like a cage-type mask.
Right.
I think Dakota Phillips has the cage-type mask as well.
Right.
Rob has the throwback old-school helmet and the mask you throw over top. What was your style?
I had the bar mask. It was just the straps that you put over your soft cap. We didn't have
the hard
helmets like they use today.
Okay.
We had the soft caps, and you just reversed it, and you had the straps, and you just put it on. And I had the bar. I hated the mouse trap.
Okay.
The mouse trap was one with all the bars up and down and over.
Right.
You know, with a space open so you could see.
Okay. So in other words, a minor version of the kicker's helmet.
Yeah.
Okay. For football.
Right. Only an extra bar.
Right. 2-2, ground ball to Ryan Long. He'll make the play at first base, and a good stretch and squeeze by Jack Meggs at first to get the out, number 3. We head to the bottom of the second. No score from Bossy Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Steps to the plate. He takes strike one on the inside corner. 0-1 the count to McNamee. It'll be McNamee, Taylor Lane, and Rob Calabrese for batters 4, 5, and 6 in the Otters order. A line drive right to the shortstop, Wobrock. Second pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Hit well, but at the right at the shortstop. So
nothing you can do about that.
Well, this is fun. I played with a third baseman. I won't mention his name. He's liable to sue me.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway.
Taylor Lane steps to the plate.
He was the third baseman, and
first pitch. Called strike one.
You just saw Big Mac hit a pretty good shot there to the shortstop, and he made a good catch. And anyway, this third baseman, after the game, we'd stand in front of the hotel on the road, and he'd say, "How did you do tonight?" And he'd say, "Oh, I got 2 for 3. 2 for 3? I don't remember you getting 2 for 3. You hit a ground ball." "Yeah, well, I count them as hits." Anytime he hit the ball, he counted them as hits.
For any contact.
Yeah, and I can always remember saying, wait the next year comes when you're looking for a new contract, you say, "Hey, I batted 900. And the farm director says, you batted 190. Yeah, he counted every time he hit the ball as a base hit.
I wish I did.
Yeah. He was the same guy.
1-2 would be down and in for ball 2.
He was the same guy, and I'm not lying, that when the ball was hit his way, I'd have to wait until he fielded it, then I'd yell first or second, because he went to first base automatically. No matter what the situation was, he threw it to first.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball foul down the third base line. Count remains even at 2 with 1 out to Taylor Lane. Batting .253 on the season. In the series, he had a sac fly RBI. He is 0 for 8.
So when you talk about Ryan making that outstanding double play last night, this third baseman wouldn't have done it.
2-2, down by the shins of Taylor Lane to make the count full.
Yeah, what's he got in his back pocket? And, he's got wristbands. Why would you have wristbands?
I don't know. Payoff pitch from Castellani. A chopper right to the second baseman, Lopez. Goes over to first, 2 away. To the plate now is Rob Calabrese, the catcher. Mike Rizzatello is also in the lineup. He's on deck as the designated hitter today. Both catchers in the lineup this afternoon. Calabrese in the series is 2 for 6. He reached on an error last night. He scored 2 runs. He scored from the throwing error by the third baseman Bryant last night. First pitch, it's a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Calabrese was the subject of our pregame interview, and he tends to favor left center field.
Yes. And he said he don't know why. The ball just goes there. Well, I could give him a different answer. I'd say he's a pull hitter.
Okay. Here's the 1-1 from Castellani. The down and away for ball 2. That was a 50-50 pitch as Castellani was hugging the outer third of the strike zone.
A pull hitter is a someone that hits the ball in front of the guy hits it to center, hits it over the plate, and the guy that hits behind the plate goes to right field.
2-1, chopper to Pintor at third. Charges, throws over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Castellani. We're 2 up, 2 down here at Bossy Field. No score on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Baseball, we're doing a little Sundays with Sinatra right here on the radio. 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network. No score, top third between the Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom. A pivotal game 3, a pivotal rubber match in a front showdown. As we stand right now, the Otters have a game-and-a-half lead over the Florence Freedom in the Frontier League West Division standings. To the plate for the Freedom will be the top of the order in Luis Pintor. He is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
How did the General make out last night? I think when I left, it was in the 13th inning.
Oh no, that was a different game. The General won 2-1.
Oh, okay.
That would be down and away for ball 1 to Pintor. The Schaumburg Boomers ended up winning in 4.
Oh, okay.
That was a long day in Cleveland.
Yes.
Here's the 1-0 from Beardsley. Here's a fly ball to left field. Lane is there for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. And to the plate will be Ricky Ramirez Jr., who walked in his first plate appearance back in the first.
You know, Frankie sings New York, New York, what a wonderful town. I'll tell you what.
It's too expensive for me right now.
Well, let me put it this way. The Indians knew what they were getting when they sold it to the Americans back in the Revolutionary days. And
the war for Indians.
Oh, yeah, but they got the best of the deal. When those Indians knew what they were doing.
First pitch to Jr. is popped up in the infield.
Or get away.
J.J. Gould, he has number 2. One pitch, one out, make that 2 here in the top of the 3rd. Ramirez undercut that pitch, and it benefited the Otters that time.
I know Rizzy's father is listening to us, James, a patrolman there in New York, and I hate to say it, I hope I never go back to New York again.
It's too messy.
I used to enjoy it. In the 40s, we used to go and ride the subway. Life was great, but not anymore.
First pitch to Caleb Lopez, drops in there on the outside corner for strike 1.
You know, now they even throw water on the New York cops. You know, can you imagine it being if they don't respect the cops, do you think they respect you?
Well, I would respect James because he's got a stocky build and the frame where he's a guy you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. Well, you know, my sister Marge, in the 2003 World Series when my brother was managing the Marlins and they were in Yankee Stadium, and my sister, of course, was cheering for my brother, her brother.
1-1, fouled behind home plate, and the count moves to 1-2.
And those New York fans were throwing beer. She was soaked at the end of the game. It's just.
I don't think that behavior is acceptable, and this is coming from a Philly fan who, throughout his history, Philly fans have gotten a lot of. What's the word I'm looking for?
Bad publicity.
Yes, thank you. The 1-2 pitch is fouled down the third base line, and I don't think that should be right. If you would wear an opposing team's jersey at the stadium and heckled for it, that's unacceptable.
That's right, I agree.
Because it's not not acceptable.
Not sportsmanship.
No.
You know, it's just like.
1-2, line to left field. Lane comes charging. It's going to be dropping in front of him for a base hit. So another 2-out hit for the Florence Freedom, this time in the top of the 3rd. Good.
You know, I was going to say, your Phillies was playing the Mets in New York, and I was there scouting, and I was behind home plate, and all of a sudden someone started pouring, and I looked up and I saw the guy. And with that, there was one of those cop ushers on, get him. And he said, that's not my area. Can you believe he's standing there? That's not my area. So I was wet.
And a funky smell when you got back to your apartment, as there's a fly ball to right field. McNamee is there for out number 3. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd, scoreless here at Bossy Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
First pitch to Rizzatello's in there for strike one.
Come on, Big Mike, get a hit. It's New York time.
As my way. Next pitch to Mike will be a ball outside. An even count at one with no outs. Bottom of the no score.
Mike's got to attack the ball, take that stride, and go forward.
Here's the 1-1. That'll be down and in for ball two. Mike has now seen a strike from Mike Castellani, the pitcher for the Florence Freedom. So he now knows when to attack if necessary. Here's the 2-1. That'll be down and in for ball three. 3-1 the count to Rizzatello.
Notice his left leg, though, the foot, I should say, not the leg or foot, whatever you want to call it. Watch and see if he strides forward. It looks like he's not. He's picking it up and putting it down. See?
3-1, that's a called strike two.
So that means he's not shifting his weight. He's got to stride. You got to pick up your foot and move it forward.
Payoff pitch. Chopper up the middle. Second baseman is there, and Lopez, and there's one away here in the bottom of the third. To the plate now is Jack Meggs, who changed his walk-up song to Groove by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Whatever that is.
They were one of my dad's favorite bands, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Meggs batting .228 on the year. He was 0 for 4 on Friday.
Bring back Glenn Miller.
Okay. Chopper down the first base line. Fair. Crane is there, and he is able to touch the bag in time. One pitch, one out. Make that two here in the bottom of the third.
You remember last night's game, that first baseman had more ground balls fielded than you ever want to see. So far, he's only got one, but that means left-handers are pulling the ball. Here comes JJ.
Batting .186 on the year.
Really?
First time in the series.
186.
36 hits, 21 RBIs, and 5 home runs on the year for JJ. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike. JJ, known for his defense, plays an excellent defensive shortstop. There have been times throughout the year that he's made plays. He would leap in the air, rob opposing batters of hits. Here's his 0-1. It'll be a called strike two, belt high inside. Gould does not like the call, and it's a count at 0-2 with 2 outs.
Well, the catcher,
Rinsky
lined up for a pitch inside. He got it there on that last call. There he goes outside now.
0-2.
And he got it there. Only even dirt.
Gould does not chase the breaking ball, and it's a count moving to 1-2. JJ also has an on-base percentage of .300.
Well, 180 batting, but 300 on. That means he got a lot of walks.
Here's the 1-2 from Castellani. Swing and a miss. Castellani goes inside and retires the Otters in order. 9 up, 9 down for Mike Castellani as we head to the top of the fourth. No score from Bosse Field between the Otters and Freedom. on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
At the University of Evansville, you will receive an academic scholarship. You will be taught by talented, engaged professors committed to your success.
We will help you change the world.
You will have the opportunity to study abroad.
UE will change your life.
This is a place where we change the world. Come change it with us.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
And every highway and more.
What's more than this? You did it my way.
Welcome back to Boston Field Sundays with Sinatra on the radio.
Yeah, we're doing it our way.
Yeah, that's right. Top four, no score between the Otters and Freedom. As Tyler Beardsley's back on the mound. His first pitch to Isaac Bernard is a called strike. He gets the outside corner belt high away, moving the count to 0-1 with no outs. Bernard so far today is 0 for 1 with a pop up to shortstop at J.J. Gould. Here's the 0-1 from Beardsley as a chopper foul down the third base line, and the count moves quickly to 0-2.
You know, I think if Frankie got his start in Hackensack, New Jersey, singing at a hotel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and then he ends up spending most of his life out there in California. But New Jersey gave him his start.
0-2 pitch. Chopper to J.J. Gould. Charges across the diamond to first. It's an overthrow. Advancing to second base will be Isaac Bernard. And that will be ruled an E6.
Well, I hate to say that, or say it, but I'm going to. J.J. should never threw that ball. There was no way he was going to get the runner. He had to come in from deep shortstop. He was off balance, threw it underhand. It's just he shouldn't have thrown it. There are times players should eat the ball. By that, I mean don't throw it.
Right.
And in that case, that's what happened.
So a single and then an error on the throw.
Yeah, he would have beat it out easily.
Yep. So the Florence Freedom have another runner in scoring position. The first pitch to Trevor Craport will be called a ball.
Well, we got a runner on second, just like the international rule.
Excuse me, a strike. My apologies.
International rule, no outs. So how are they going to play it?
Well, Beardsley will go down and in for ball one. Craport was 1 for 3 with a single on Friday night. He's batting 159 on the season.
He struck out his last time up.
He spent time with the Frederick Keys, the high A affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles.
Right, and my nephew...
1-1 will be down and away for ball two.
My great-nephew, Zach, was the catching coach at Hagerstown. That was the Baltimore AAA club.
Oh.
Yeah.
2-1 the count now.
Zach Booker. He was the catching coach.
Oh, 1-1 the count. My apologies. Here's the next pitch. That'll be a called strike two A bit of a delayed called strike by Purnell behind home plate.
Yes, it was delayed.
So 1-2 the count. No outs. On second base is Isaac Bernard on a single and then an error on the throw by J.J. Gould. And Beardsley will try to record an out right here. This ball goes down and away to even the count at 2. Mags will play slightly in towards the infield grass at first. Beardsley would check the runner at second. Fires the 2-2. Ground ball to Ryan Long. Holds him at second. Throws over to first. And there's one out.
Now, go back over that play. And Ryan fielded the ball, and he did as you should. He looked the runner back, then executed the throw to first base. He did not throw to first base automatically. He looked him. And that's what I was trying to say about Big Mike the other night. You remember he kept looking at the runner on second. He kept looking and pumping, and then finally threw it to first, and it was too late. You look and then you execute.
Ryan Rinsky, the catcher, to the plate. 1 out, runner on second. Second runner in scoring position for the Freedom today. First pitch.
Strike.
Fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. A righty-righty matchup. Beardsley has been effective when he is ahead in the count at 0-1. We'll check the runner at second base once more, as his hometown is located not far from Los Angeles. Ground ball to Ryan Long. Backhand stop at third. Throws over to first. That's a pretty play for out number 2.
Strong arm, strong throw.
From the former quarterback.
Yes. You know,
to another former quarterback at first.
Right. Brooks Robinson played third base for Baltimore. You were talking about Baltimore before. Brooks Robinson played third base. He did not have a strong arm.
No.
But he had a very, very accurate arm and got rid of the ball as quickly as anyone. And that's what made him a good defensive third baseman. No matter where he threw the ball, it always ended up chest high to the first baseman.
First pitch to Wobrock is fouled down the first base line. Count at 0-1. Remaining at second base is Isaac Bernard. Now, if you're Florence, when you have a runner on second base with no outs, wouldn't you want to try to bunt him over to third?
Well, it all depends. It's early in the game, but it depends on the pitcher. In this way, Tyler is out there doing a super job, as well as Castellano and
Castellani.
And so, yeah, I would play low ball.
0-1 the count, the next pitch. That'll be down and in towards the shoes of Wobrock to even the count at 1 with 2 outs.
They used to say when New York pitcher and then Cincinnati pitcher Tom Siebert was pitching that you start bunting in the first inning because you're not going to get many runs in that game. So take advantage and bunt early.
The 1-1.
Strike 3 or strike 2.
Called strike 2.
Yeah.
Beardsley comes back with a fastball. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. After the leadoff single by Isaac Bernard.
An error. Single and error.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul behind home plate. No score, top 4. Otters have yet to have a hit today. And the Florence Freedom have 3. Beardsley will come set. Taking a deep breath on the right side of the rubber. Checks the runner at second. Fires the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He goes fishing for out number 3. Beardsley's slider bites, and that will end the top of the 4th. No score from Bossy Field between the Otters and the Freedom on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
At the University of Evansville, you will receive an academic scholarship. You will be taught by talented, engaged professors committed to your success.
We will help you change the world.
You will have the opportunity to study abroad.
UE will change your life.
This is a place where we change the world. Come change it with us.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Bottom 4, Cronin takes a called strike 1 from Mike Castellani. Doing some Sundays with Sinatra on the radio. Thanks to our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly. Castellani will now come set, and here's the 0-1 to Cronin. He'll be fouled down the first base line. Count now at 0-2.
And David can't blow.
David Cronin?
David Cronin cannot bunt because Pintor was right on his heels.
That's right. Pintor playing on the edge of the infield grass. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball right at the pitcher, Castellani. He'll toss the ball over to first, and that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, so, here we are in the 3rd and or 4th inning, and we have yet to get a hit.
Correct.
So, again, as you said earlier, play small ball. If the first batter gets on, bunt him over, because you may not get another chance.
The Florence Freedom had 2 opportunities in today's game with runners at second base and did not get a run home. Credit to the Otters defense.
Yeah.
Keith Grieseber to the dish. His first pitch from Castellani is down and in for ball 1. Keith flied out to center field in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1.
Well, as I said yesterday in that article with Greg, with Goose Gossage and Pete Rose and Lou Piniella, they said everyone's going for the home run. They don't bunt anymore. They go for the home run. That's why the strikeout ratio is high. And, when you got a situation you want to score runs, well, everybody's not the 1929 New York Yankee baseball team where everyone can hit, 20 home runs or more.
Grieseber gets ball 2. A breaking ball that goes off speed from Castellani, who is hugging the outer third of the strike zone in a righty-lefty matchup. Does not get the call to count at 2-1. And here's the 2-1 to Grieseber. This is called strike 2. And to add on that comment you said, in a way it's kind of ruining the game. The strategy is less. If everyone's trying to swing for a home run, there's no more. It's either a home run or a double. There's no single, bunt him over, etc.
Well, we saw that last night when that knuckleball came in, a knuckleballer, and if he threw 70 miles an hour. He was overthrowing. And what did we do? We were looking to hit the ball out of the ballpark. We were jacking them. Yeah, we had a lot of fly balls that went to the outfield, but we didn't get many runs. We didn't get many hits. He had our number. I mean, everyone was trying to be Babe Ruth.
Payoff pitch to Griesaber. Chopper to the second baseman Lopez. And he tried to be fancy with a backhand stop. Getting to first base safely is Keith Griesaber, and the no-hit bid might be over.
Base hit.
The no-hit bid by Mike Castellani is over.
You know, Dave, you called that, and he had an easy play at second base.
Tried to be fancy.
And he tried to be hot doggish.
Hot doggish?
Yes,
Okay.
Hollywood, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
He backhanded. And what happens so many times when these infielders try to it hits the heel of the glove. It don't go in the pocket. It hits the heel. And, of course, we benefited. But
First pitch to Ryan Long is inside for ball one. Go ahead.
all he had to do was field it normal, and he had an out. The Otters benefited by it, but, yeah, too many hot doggers or Hollywooders, whatever.
Hot diggity dog, as there's a foul ball behind home plate.
Hot diggity dog. Now, that's familiar. That's one of the cartoons.
I believe so.
Yeah.
One and one the count.
My great-granddaughter comes over at 6:30 in the morning. Of course,
Oh, my gosh.
not now, but
Okay.
when there was no school in the summer.
That's too early for me.
Well, her mother has to get to work and drop her off, and immediately those cartoons go on. I don't have the TV for the rest of the day.
That's right. 1-1. Foul down the left field line, and the count moves to 1-2. Ryan Long today hit into a fielder's choice back in the first in his first plate appearance. On Friday, he was 0 for 5. Yesterday, he had 2 RBIs, a double, and a single, as well as 2 walks.
He had the big double. That
Yes.
was the
1-2. He was swinging away. It's a swing and a miss for out number 2. Ryan chases a high fastball out of the zone, and there's 2 away.
yes. Now the question is, if we get in the playoffs, is Ryan's parents going to fly in and?
First things first, we have to make it.
Oh, I know. Well, I was going out last night. I saw playoff tickets for $10.
Already? They're selling them?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess that's for the whole series there, whatever. But some guy was holding tickets and had laughed.
Oh, wow. Throw over to first is not in time. Elijah McNamee to the plate. McNamee is 0 for 1 with a fly out to the shortstop. It was a line drive right at Wobrock. Back in the second. This next pitch to McNamee, or first pitch rather, is foul behind home plate. Counted 0-1 to McNamee. Batting .304 in 31 games played as an Otter. A quality addition to this Otters lineup. 0-1. Inside for ball one, excuse me. Count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Griesaber at first. The first Otters hit of the day. Next pitch. That'll be inside for ball 2. 2-1. The count with 2 outs for the Otters. No score, bottom 4. Castellani and Beardsley pitching well for their respective teams. And the next pitch is foul down the first baseline. And the count will now be even at 2 with 2 outs.
Castellani has got one advantage so far in this game.
Throwing out the Otters at first base?
That's right. That's exactly right. Now they're afraid to take a lead because he's picked one up and he's gone over there several times. They haven't found his secret yet.
Swing and a miss. Castellani gets him with a fastball. And we are 4 up, 4 down, heading to the 5th at Bosse Field. Scoreless on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
It's time for the 5th annual Blues on the Rock, Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park. 6 blues bands live on stage 2 p.m. till midnight, featuring blues rocker Sean Murphy having her CD release party.
There's a place you can find where the sun.
Food, drinks, arts and crafts, and tent camping available. $10 admission. A blues set from Boston, France.
Evil woman, why you play me for a fool?
Blues on the Rock. Tri-State favorite Jonas Cowan. Beyond Blue, Muddy Gut, and more. Blues on the Rock, Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park.
Did we lose it?
There we go.
Paul?
I don't know, but I think I got you. According to Frankie, I got you under my skin as we're in the top of the 5th. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune, and Mr. Dave Cronin on the broadcast with us as we're in the top of the 5th. No score. To the plate will be Connor Crane. He is a chopper up the middle. Good stop by JJ. No throw, so he'll eat the ball, and it'll be a single for Connor Crane. His 4th hit in this series and his 14th against the Otters this year.
Yeah, and while we got Mr. Cronin here, we can review. We've already spoke about what happened last night when that knuckleballer came in, and I know, Mr. Cronin, you have your own feelings of what the Otters should have done.
I would have bunted every single time against that guy.
There you go.
I know, but I talked to my son last night. He goes, if I bunt, they're going to put one in my ear hole. So I didn't want to take a chance of getting hit. But it's like, you know, you're going to throw 52 miles an hour and bounce balls in. I'm going to bunt until they take them out. But I'm 54 years old, and I'm not playing anymore, so it's a lot easier for me to say.
Well, at the same time, when the ball's coming in 50, 60 miles an hour, you could stop, you take your teeth out and grab it and grab that ball. It's not going to hurt you no matter what at 50, 60 miles.
It was like Bugs Bunny in the old day. He got to swing 3 times in a row, and the ball still wouldn't have got there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cartoons. As Pintor has a quick count at 2-0.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it last night, and, you know, third baseman was playing halfway to shortstop, and he was playing short left field. Gave us all the opportunity. Any one of us could have bunt, even my grandmother. So
Absolutely.
So.
It's about putting guys on base and scoring runs.
Yep.
And they didn't want to waste any pitchers, so I was like, you know what, until you change them out, I'm going to bunt nonstop.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a good strategy. The thing is, I don't know, I guess the hitters last night from the 6th inning on tried to want to jack one out of the park because it was so slow.
Yeah. Reggie Jackson's. But, no, it's pretty good observation we got here. It's nice to have the parents come in and watch their children or child or player. And
Pintor shows bunt pop up. Long is there in foul territory. Does he double him off? Yes, he does. So a pop-up bunt out to Luis Pintor. Running down halfway to second base was Crane, and Ryan Long doubles up Crane for a quick 1-2 here in the top of the 5th.
Now let's analyze that. Let's go back to that the man on first base. He should not have been running to second. You don't start running until the ball's down. That's why it was an easy double play. But anyway, thank God it happened to the other team, not us.
That's right.
To the plate now is Ricky Ramirez Jr. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Beardsley looking comfortable on the mound. His first pitch is a fastball in the outside corner for strike one.
Well, Mr. Cronin, while you're here, I'm kind of sick and tired of listening to Giordano's Pizzas. Now, could you tell us all about Giordano's Pizzas?
Giordano's is a deep dish pizza in Chicago. It's our family's favorite. It's just, there's a lot of them out there. Back in the day, it used to be Gino's East, and they only had one in the city. But now Giordano's is more of a localized franchise chain. And Derek Rose back in the day with the Bulls, he got behind it, and it's just great pizza. The only problem is it takes you an hour to get it.
Yes.
So.
Oh, you mean the time, the waiting time?
Absolutely. But I'll tell you, a shout out to the pizza place we went to last night. That pizza was dynamite.
Taroni's?
Taroni's.
Oh, you went to Taroni's?
Yeah.
Big sponsor of Evansville Otters baseball.
Yeah, great pizza. They took care of it. It was me and my wife and my son and David and Rob and Jack and JJ and Hunter and Jack's mom and sister, and they took care of great service of us, and it was a great time there.
Well, you know, that's Don Mattingly's sister that owns that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
well, of course it was his brother-in-law, but he died, I think, a year or so ago. But that's Don Mattingly's sister. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, they took great care of us. A great place. That's the first time we've ever been. You know, my 2 years here, it's the first time we've ever been there. So
yeah,
it's a great place.
Down on Main Street, and they have another one out on. Oh boy, now I can't think. They got another one anyway.
The Florence Freedom added another hit to Ricky Ramirez Jr. He's on first. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Lopez with a 1-0 count. Make that now 2-0 after Beardsley tries to get Lopez to chase on the slider.
So where did Dave get his initial baseball training?
You know, I mean, I played college baseball, and we've been baseball junkies our whole life. So it's just, you know, from playing the basic park district baseball, and then, you know, travel baseball started kicking in. So my oldest one was a travel team, and then David jumped in the travel team, and then our youngest one, Kevin, who's still playing college baseball. And it was travel team. It was one of those things that he loved football, he loved hockey and baseball, but you know, I think, you know, when you're a 5'10" kid and that your options are pretty slim with football and basketball, he really gravitated towards baseball after his freshman year in high school. And it's like, dude, you can't play, you know. You're going to get killed in football. You're not tall enough in basketball.
There's a bunt.
And
long charges.
Baseball is your opportunity to make it happen, and it's really worked out for him. So he's a gamer. I mean, you guys are very complimentary of him, you know, talking about him. And, I mean, he hates to lose, and whatever he can to do to help his team win a championship. And, you know, being here for 2 years, and all the guys in this team they're all great guys. I mean, he's built a great relationship with, you know, he played with Rob at UIC, and Jack played with one of his buddies from UIC, and then Hunter from California, and Ryan at third base, and JJ. I mean, I think they got a real tight group of guys that, you know, they'll do anything for each other, and they like to hang out last night after the game together, where, you know, I'm sure in the pro ball, guys go their own different direction, disappear, where these guys always come to hang out. And, you know, when we were in Joliet, about a month ago, 4 or 5 all came back to the house, and we had dinner and beers.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it was pretty neat. So they all came in the backyard and hung out, and it was JJ and Hunter and Jack and Rob and David, and they just had a blast. And, you know, sometimes when you play together and you hang together, it really, you know, forms a team pretty good together. So, and it's pretty much showed it.
Well, you're right, and I'll agree with you. You take this ball club that I played with, well, that was 57, but the 56 club, we were kind of tight, too. Of course, we won the pennant by about 28 games. But interesting, I was talking about Horace Gardner with that great arm, and Horace was the ambassador for the blacks in the early days with the Boston Brave organization. Wherever they wanted to start a new farm club, they would send in Horace because he was a gentleman. That's why we called him the ambassador. And we would be on the road, and
2-0 is foul behind home plate. 2-1 to count. Runners on first and second after Lopez executed a bunt single.
There was a nucleus of 2 groups that would play poker. And we had 2 rooms, and the poker games are going on now. Someone would say, hey, it's 4 o'clock. The game's at, we got to leave at 6. Let's go eat. And I don't know, it was Peoria. I'm going to say Peoria just for the sake of argument. And it was my brother-in-law, Joe Humphrey, and Billy Smith, and Horace. And, there was someone else anyway. So we said, oh, let's go to here. And Horace says, oh, I left my wallet back at the hotel. We said, Horace, you pull that too much. You can't eat in there. He said, no. And see, Horace would not embarrass himself nor the team. So we said, hey, wherever you eat, that's where we eat. And that's what you're talking about, right. A nucleus of a team cohesiveness.
Absolutely.
I haven't used that word in years.
Nucleus?
No, cohesiveness.
Oh, cohesiveness.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but it sounded good.
So a walk is worked to Andre Mercurio. The bases are loaded
2 outs.
With 2 outs. There's no score in the top of the 5th. Tyler Beardsley in another jam right now. Luckily, there are 2 outs.
Yeah.
And thankfully, from the play by Ryan Long, the double up Connor Crane.
Yes, we'd be in trouble now. Rob should go out and just cool him down, just to change the pattern of the game right now.
To the plate now is Isaac Bernard. He's 2 for 10 in the series. Today he's 1 for 2 with a single.
Strike. Okay.
And it's a first pitch strike, knee-high inside in a lefty-righty matchup. Count it 0-1.
Nobody.
At third base is Ricky Ramirez Jr. On second base is Caleb Lopez. Lopez advanced on the bunt single, and Mercurio worked the walk. He's at first. Here's the 0-1.
Oh.
That'll be down and in. Calabrese with the good catch right there, moving the count to 1-1.
Yeah, Calabrese has got to block that ball in case it gets by. I mean, if it's low, because we can't let that guy in third score. Now, if he walks him or pitches 3 balls, then Mac should go out there.
1-1 the count. No one warming up in either bullpen. Beardsley, 54 strikes, 32 balls so far today. Otters only have 1 hit. Big situation right now for both teams. And Beardsley fires a 1-1.
Strike.
Fastball down Main Street, moving the count to 1-2.
2. I got 3 strikeouts. Tyler's got 3 strikeouts somewhere.
Correct.
If he gets this one, boy, that'd be great to get out of that jam.
You ain't kidding.
So should he go with the slider? You got the slider to strike out Wobrock back in the 4th.
He's probably looking for a fastball, like most people will on a 3-2. It might be a good one.
This will be a fly ball, foul down the left field line.
But it all depends on command. Has he got the command? Generally, they're low. So I don't know if the guy will go fishing after it or not.
So if he's afraid to throw the slider because of the bases loaded, then he's been working on a cut fastball, and it wouldn't be a bad time to throw one in this at-bat.
Yeah.
Like Bill said, we just got to make sure we knock it down if it gets in the dirt. Step on home plate, and there's the inning.
There you go.
Yep.
There's a man knows baseball.
1-2. And this will be shallow and foul down the left field line. And this will be pitch number 6 in the at-bat up and coming.
Dave, did you hear what Mr. Cronin just said? Not many people realize what he just said.
That's right.
When that is there, all you got to do is tag home, and so I'm automatic out. A lot of people will throw it to first base because they don't know.
Right.
Because, with 2 outs, even though there's a runner on first, the batter can still run.
Beardsley from the belt. Bases loaded, 2 outs, no score. And he fires pitch number 6.
Oh, right
it's a line drive right at David. Oh, it's over Cronin's head. 2 runs will score and make that 3. A single that brings in 3 runs. It is now a Florence Freedom lead.
Now Max should go out there right now just to calm them down. I'm quite sure that
hard hit ball.
Well, I'm talking about his heart. I mean, it's probably pounding out there now. I mean, giving up those runs.
2 runs officially score. As trotting in from third is Ramirez. Coming in from second is Lopez. Going over to third is Andre Mercurio. And the Freedom have struck first. The 2 RBI single by Isaac Bernard Bernard and Crane have been the Otter killers throughout the season, and Bernard comes through with his third and fourth RBI of the series.
Yeah. Plus, it got a great arm in right field. Good defense.
The 0-1 is fouled to the Otters dugout, moving the count to 0-2 with 2 outs. Top of the fifth, it is 2-0 Florence here in the 4th consecutive rubber match between the Otters and Freedom. Otters have a game and a half on Florence entering today. With the win last night, the magic number to reach the playoffs is now down to 4. Currently, the Otters are down 2-0. 2 outs, runners on the corners. And the 0-2 pitch to Craport. There is no throw down to second base, no throw down to third, and standing up at second base is Isaac Bernard with a swiped bag. So open bag now at first, 2-0, the score in favor of Florence. Another 2-strike count for Beardsley as he's taking deep breaths on the mound from the right side of the rubber.
Now, he swung at the first pitch over his head and got a strike. And he went chasing one that was a slider for number 2. If he throws it high, we'll see what happens.
1-2.
Slider.
And it's a good block by Calabrese.
What position did you play when you were in college?
I played center field in college.
Okay, so you're not a catcher.
No.
When you picked up what a catcher should do.
I was a shortstop my whole life, and my junior in high school, there was a shortstop who was pretty good, so I wanted to get some playing time, so I moved to the outfield, but probably turned to be a bad idea. I should have probably stayed in the infield, but
2-2.
Had a pretty decent career.
Ground ball to JJ at short. Goes over to first, and Meggs was able to keep his foot on the bag for out number 3. Florence strikes first. We'll continue the conversation as we have Mr. Dave Cronin in the booth to join us for a few innings. And, Bill, I believe I interrupted you, but go ahead.
No, I was just asking about position because Mr. Cronin immediately knew about what a catcher should do. It's just touch home plate. And, you know, if I may brag for a second, I was a junior.
Humbly brag.
Okay. I was a junior in high school, and I just got thrown into catching, and bases were loaded. And there was 2 outs anyway. We were away, and the pitcher, outfield Connor, threw a curveball wild. The batter swung at it. I went back to the backstop, grabbed it, ran up to home, dove and tagged home. Boom, that's out, saved the run. We won the game. Unbeknownst to me, Bill McCarron was the Red Sox scout. And as soon as the game stories with me, I talked to you. I said, yeah. He said, where did you know how to touch home? I said, gee, I don't know. I just did it naturally. That was my beginning of association with the Red Sox. The next summer, I went up to Cape Cod to play baseball in that Cape Cod League, and I was still a high school player.
Oh, wow.
So,
pretty neat.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But Bill McCarron gave me my opportunity. Anyway, I'm sorry, Dave. I stole your thunder.
No, it's all right. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Florence Freedom have struck first. 2-0 on the 3rd and 4th RBIs of the series for Isaac Bernard, who also has a strong arm in right field. To the plate now will be Elijah McNamee, Taylor Lane, and Rob Calabrese. Check that will be Taylor Lane, Rob Calabrese, and Mike Rizzatello for batters 5, 6, and 7 in the Otters order.
And Mr. Luis Pintor is playing third base, and you notice he's wearing sunglasses. So I don't think there's any sun right now at third.
There's a ground ball to Wobrock at short. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Should we say that Mr. Lane, 9 out of 10 times will swing at the first pitch. No matter where it's at, he swings at the first pitch. Anyway, where did has David always been a second baseman?
David's always been a second baseman. Always. So, actually, my oldest kid was a second baseman. David's a second baseman. And my youngest one, Kevin's a second baseman. So we pretty much stayed in the infield. It's how he said that's the best way if you got an opportunity. And, you know, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but if you know, an opportunity to go somewhere, you're going to go at second base. And, you know, you say you got to be strong with middle, catcher, short, second base, and center field. And, you know, he's a captain of the infield. And You know, and it's like you're involved in the game the whole time versus, you know, growing up, the kids are in the outfield, they're digging holes, and they're not paying attention to the game. And they always say, well, the kids are so bored. It's like, well, yeah, you're just digging holes and you're not playing baseball. But, you know, once you get to the higher level, the outfield, we talked about the right fielder. He's got a cannon. There's no better feeling as an outfielder to throw somebody out from a base. And
that's right.
That's a big part of the game. And it's just, you know, the more you play, there's more balls that are spread everywhere. But I'm glad they stayed in the infield, and that's kind of worked out for him. So.
Well, you know, you said he don't have a strong arm, and I'm going to say one thing about he's got a quick arm.
Yeah.
He gets rid of the ball very, very fast. He receives it and gets rid of it. In fact, last night when we executed that double play from Ryan that Dave keeps harping about, what a great play it was, and got us out of a jam.
Fly ball left field. Going back is Craport. And he'll make the catch for out number 2.
And if it wasn't for David getting rid of that ball and boom, boom, hey, we wouldn't have gotten out of the gym. Although we didn't need it. I mean, you know, we're a 10-run lead. But the point was he's done that so many times and executed that double play all because of his quickness.
Right.
And, in fact, that one, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about a week or so ago, he made an error because, again, he was trying to get rid of the ball. And it just so happens it was a hustling play. And trying to get rid of the ball and throw it at the same time, it just popped out.
Right.
First pitch to Mike Rizzatello is a called strike on the outside corner in a righty-lefty matchup. Otters down 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1 the count to Riz. Next pitch is down and in for a ball 1. And if you're the Otters hitters going forward, realizing how effective that Castellani's been on the mound, you've only got 1 hit for the powerful offense that you have so far. Don't be afraid to work the count, as here's the 1-1 to Riz. A swing and a miss as Castellani goes with a breaking ball down and in, moving the count to 1-2.
Mike was a little slow at that bat that time, and he's got to charge that ball. He's got to attack it. Stride, got to take a better stride.
Maybe his Florence coach knew what he was doing last night when he put Phil Necro in to throw the kids off for 3 innings, and it kind of looks like the bats are still kind of sleeping today because of that. But this kid's pitched a good game, so nothing against him. He's pitched a real good game.
And we were talking, Dave was making a point that the runners are kind of staying close to first because after he picked Ryan off at that pickoff, they're afraid to get a lead.
Absolutely.
1-2 to Riz is down and in for a ball 2. Full count, or 2-2 count with 2 outs. 2-0 Florence on the 2 RBI single by Isaac Bernard.
So picking that runner off was another weapon in his arsenal. You know, not only a good breaking pitch, but a good pickoff, and that adds to his ability to get the Otters off stride. And that one hit was actually a gift.
Yes. The 2-2 will be a late chopper foul behind home plate. Riz will get the edge of the barrel of the bat on that pitch.
If I was the pitcher, I'd have an inquiry on that play. On that base hit up the middle, I put an inquiry, kind of like the Kentucky Derby.
Wasn't that something?
Oh.
First time ever, it was reviewed by replay.
Strike 3.
A called strike 3 on the outside corner. Riz is upset with the call.
Right.
We are 5 up, 5 down here at Bossy Field. Florence leads 2-0. We have the pleasure to have Mr. David Cronin on the broadcast with us. And the one thing I appreciate about Dave is his confidence, and he's got a lot of swagger. And I think that's something you need in the ball club.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he just, growing up, he thought he could hit 1,000. It's like, dude, nobody in their world's ever hit 1,000.
But that's
one guy's only hit 400, and Ted Williams is like, because you just get so bent on his shape. It's like, dude, it's you got to work on it. It's just quality at bats. You got to work on it. Guys, that's why they put 8 guys out there to knock you down. And it's a quality at bat, and you're going to get your bullets. They're going to catch them, and you're going to get your bleeders. Or they're not going to catch them. So, he doesn't take the next at bat to the batter's box. He just lets it roll. And as a hitter, you have to. You're going to get 500 bats a year. You can't sit there and dwell on the negative because baseball, you guys know, it's a complete head game. You can go 0 for 45, and next you know it, you catch that thing and you're going 10 for 10, and it's like it just comes and goes, and it's just.
I don't know. I was laying in bed the other day and I was thinking of Don Mattingly. years ago when I was starting in the major league, and I was up in Yankee Stadium. I used to get into Yankee Stadium like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I would park in the parking lot or where the players were. Other than that, I was parking in areas that wasn't suitable. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and here comes Don Mattingly, was having a hard time batting. Don Mercer was the hitting coach. Lou Piniella was the manager, and I forgot who the other one was. And Mattingly was up there, and all of a sudden he finishes. This was way before batting practice. This was a special early batting. And then Piniella starts working with him. Then he'd get back in the cage, and then Bobby Mercer would work with him. Then I'm saying to myself, how the heck can you remember 3 guys telling you this guy's saying this and this one guy's saying that? It's very confusing. And the thing about Don Mattingly in those days, he changed his batting style so many times. When he was going 0 for 4, he changed his style. Of course, he'd get back in the groove real quick, but right. One of the better hitters in baseball.
Yeah.
Top 6, 2-0 Florence. The first pitch to Ryan Rinsky is outside for a ball 1. Good.
Looks like that arm is tired right now. It looks like that arm is tired, the way that ball just came down. I have somebody warming up.
How many
right
pitches
now.
has he thrown? Is he close to 90?
61 strikes, 35 balls. And here's the next pitch, and the at-bat. It's going to be called a strike on the outside corner. And the count will be even at 1 with no outs. Find the Otters bullpen have at least someone stretching right now.
Okay, yes. We emphasize all the time, and you listen to us on the radio, and you hear us say...
Chopper to JJ at shortstop, charges, throws over to first, and that'll be out number 1.
You hear us say all the time is, you're not relieving the pitcher, but have someone warmed up and ready if you need him.
Absolutely.
And it's not that, hey, guy gets up and warm up, well, automatically you're going to replace him. No. In case you need him, he's warmed up instead of, like the other night there, I don't know, it was against Erie, Lake Erie, when the guy went down the bullpen. If he threw 10 pitches warming up, next thing he was coming in, he was on the mound.
Yeah.
He didn't get a chance to warm up.
Fly ball to center field, first pitch to Wobrock, and Greasaber's there for out number 2.
But
one more pitch, one more out. This would be good for him.
Yeah.
So the point now is Connor Crane. Coming into this at-bat, he has 14 hits and 12 RBIs against the Otters this season.
Wow.
Him and Bernard have hurt the Otters this entire year. There's a righty-righty matchup, 2 outs, top 6, 2-0 Florence. The Otters only have 1 hit in today's game so far. First pitch from Beards is a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. We've had very good weather the past 3 days, as both Friday night and Saturday was cool with the breeze, and today has been just fine. The sun is out. It's kind of a cloudy sky, and the count is quickly at 0-2 to Connor Crane here in the top of the 6th. Beardsley will come set. Calabrese gives him the sign. Looks like he wants to go inside. Here's the 0-2. A fly ball to left field. Going back is Taylor Lane, and that ball is gone. Connor Crane with another RBI against the Otters, and extends this Florence Freedom lead to 3-0.
But again, the menace of the Otters, we just can't get him out, and yet I'm trying to look up. The other day, he was one of the leaders in strikeouts. I'm trying to find, here it is here. Okay, he's not listed, believe it or not, Mr. Ryan Long is up there for 90 strikeouts. Anyway,
it's tough throwing a guy 0-2 and throwing him a pipe right down the pipe, and he hammered it.
It's a no-no.
Absolutely.
It's a no-no.
Yeah.
You constantly talk to pitchers and you say, on an 0-2, it's actually a waste pitch. Throw it high, throw it low. Hopefully the guy will bait and go after it, but don't put a ball down the middle. And anyway.
So 3-0 Florence to the top of the order, and Pintor will take a ball down and away. Count is now at 2-0. The solo home run by Connor Crane now gives him 13 RBIs against the Otters this season.
Unbelievable.
Here's the 2-0 pitch from Beardsley. That'll be a strike one on the outside corner. Count moves to 2-1.
Well, Crane had the big hit last night, and then the other night he got the big triple, so...
At least half the runs that the Florence Freedom have scored in this series have come off the bat of Connor Crane.
Yeah.
There's a swing and a miss to Pintor, moving the count even at 2. And the more odd thing about that is that Connor Crane has the second most RBIs on the Florence Freedom squad, batting in the 9-hole.
Yeah. Very good.
2-2. Fly ball to shallow left.
It's going to drop.
And that's going to drop over J.J. Gould's head into shallow left field in front of Taylor Lane for a single.
See, now look. See, he don't know what to do with the ball. Throw it in! My God.
Ricky Ramirez Jr. will step to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with the single and a run scored.
I used to tell my kids, be happy you're batting 7th, 8th, or 9th because they think you can't hit, and they throw you fastballs all the time. And the perception is I want to hit 1, 2, and 3. It's like, you want to see fastballs. And that kid, obviously, he's hitting fastballs, and you get an 0-2 pitch right down the pipe. He hammered that fastball,
Yeah.
and, you know, and you just get the perception. You don't realize he's got 14 hits, but he's batting 9th. He's not a good hitter, and boom.
Well, you know, you may agree with me or disagree with me, but the 210, the 220, 230 hitters.
Fly ball to left, Lane coming in, and he'll make the catch.
Oh, what a
for
scoop.
out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Go ahead, Bill.
No, I was going to say the 220, 230, 224, those guys are the breaking ball hitters. The fastball hitters are the 280 to 300 hitters.
Right.
But the breaking ball hitters, they're the 2 guys. So when you're in that 8 and 9 spot. Anyway, we give too much break. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No, it's all right. Now there's a 3-0 lead for the Florence Freedom after a solo home run from Connor Crane, his 13th RBI against the Otters this year. And the Florence Freedom were able to score 2 runs in the 5th on a 2 RBI single by Isaac Bernard. Mike Castellani, in a way, has pitched a gem so far for the Florence Freedom. He's limited this powerful Otters lineup to only 1 hit and 1 base runner so far today. Castellani has picked off Ryan Long at first earlier in this game, and he has neutralized this Otters offense. We are joined on the broadcast by Mr. Dave Cronin, a native of southern part of Chicago. And if I stand corrected, you are now a Cubs fan?
I'm a Cub fan.
Okay.
So
now, because growing up on the south side, generally you're supposed to be White Sox fans.
Well,
right?
A long story short, my dad in 1939 played for the St. Joe's Michigan team, which is an affiliate of the White Sox. So, and then 1940, back in the day, he had enlisted in the Army, and he enlisted in the Army, and 7 years later, after World War II was finished, his baseball career was pretty much ended. So we were always Sox fans. I mean, I went to Old Comiskey Park, and I mean, me and him was open. We never missed an opening day, and we were huge Sox fans, and you know, thought it was going to be a blessing that when David got drafted in 23 round by the Sox, that we'd be Sox fans forever, and a local kid got a chance to, you know, raise the ranks there, and then after one season there, they pulled the plug on him. It's like, you know what, I'm done with the White Sox. the next time I stop in White Sox Park is when David will be playing in that field. Otherwise, I'll never go in that place
drop
ever
in.
again.
Oh, okay.
And making the catch and left on the first pitch to Meggs is the left fielder, Ian Craport.
I hate to say this and break and bust your bubble, but of course it makes a difference to me, Chicago White Sox or Cubs, but I used to love to go to the White Sox stadium compared to going to Wrigley. I just didn't like Wrigley. Whereas I'd stay at the Palmer House. All I had to do was go upstairs, get on the L, and take me right a block away from the White Sox stadium. And then just the game's over, walk a block, get on, boom, I'm back down to the Palmer House.
First pitch to J.J.
Because you
Gould
buck down and a buck back.
is down and in for ball 1. J.J. today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Cronin on deck with Pops in the booth. And the next pitch will be down and in for ball 2.
You can take the L to Wrigley, and I'm telling you, I'm not a huge Cub fan. There is no better place to watch a baseball game than Wrigley Field now. That Ricketts guy, the money he's putting in that place, he bought it for $1 billion, put a $500 million into the place.
And there's a double.
It'll be a line drive down the left field line, rounding first, heading to second. Is J.J. Gould head first slide? He's out. Sharp throw there from Craport and left. And that'll be out number 2.
Well, that's a hustling out, and you can't blame him. I thought he was safe, but that's, But the thing is, it's hustling. And what can we say?
Hopefully he didn't hurt his shoulder diving in there. He's moving kind of slow.
Yeah.
So to the plate now with 2 outs.
In your day, you never slid head first.
Never.
Mr. Cronin, would you like to broadcast your son's at bat?
I'm going to sit back and enjoy the hit. So.
Oh, he's calling it.
Enjoy the hit.
Well, it was so nice. Your son last night got 2 for 2, and we were saying up here, his parents are here to be nice, and then Phillips's parents are here. And the other night we said, it would have been great if he got the base hit, and last night he got a base hit and an RBI. And, we're happy when you parents come to see your child play and they get base hits and all that.
First pitch to Cronin is down and away for ball 1.
I live and die with every at-bat when I watch you guys on TV. It's crazy.
We appreciate it.
I was never nervous as a player, but as a parent, it's like a roller coaster. It's crazy. It really is.
I know how you feel. Oh,
the 1-0 to Dave. Ground ball to second base, Lopez.
Good hit, but good
throws
contact.
over to first, and that'll be out number 3.
Good contact. The thing that bothered me the most is I had 3 sons that wrestled.
Oh.
And that was the most, I don't know, your son gets thrown and the guy's got him and he's choking him and you're saying, get out. Anyway, that was really the most. I've watched my sons play football and basketball and baseball and wrestling, but when it came to wrestling, that was when I was.
I can imagine, yeah.
Nervous.
Now we have Mr. Cronin on the broadcast. It is 3-0 Florence here in the top of the 7th. And the Otters, unfortunately, only have 2 hits. We had a hard hit ball hit by J.J. Gould down the left field line. He had a single, and that will be extended wanted to extend it into a double. Was thrown out at second base after a sharp throw by Trevor Craport in left field. Tyler Beardsley's day is done, and on the mound now will be Cam Up, the man from the United States Military Academy who just graduated, an aspiring helicopter pilot. And before this month, he didn't know whether he was going to be able to stay for hopefully a postseason run. Now the magic number is down to 4. And from what I've been told from Cam is that he's able to play on if the Otters were to make in the postseason.
Well, good. The soldier boy. My wife and I were talking last night going home, and we were talking about that young man. And we said, here he comes in, and he's done a super job of getting those strikeouts when you need them. And the other night when he came in, boom, he got the strikeout, and then all of a sudden he got the second strikeout. However, the ball got by the catcher, and the batter became a runner now. And now he strikes, the next guy gets a base hit, 2-run score. Then he strikes out the next batter. So in essence, he struck out the side, yet 2 runs scored. So, he does a super job, and he's been successful. Between him and Beyer, to me, that's the bullpen right there. And Wright being the finisher. But
and we may have the snake in the bullpen if we get there.
Well, let's hope we do.
Tyler Beardsley has a slider that Bill likes to coin with a venomous bite. Therefore, he is the snake.
The snake.
So Cam Opp comes in. Tyler Beardsley's line today. Didn't do a bad job. There's just one hit that made the difference. The 2 RBI double by Isaac Bernard, or RBI single, excuse me. Beardsley, 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Cam Opp comes in for the Otters right now, and I'll read you his line momentarily, as we're in the top of the 7th in a 3-0 game in favor of the Florence Freedom. And leading off for the Florence Freedom in this order will be Caleb Lopez, Andre Mercurio, and Isaac Bernard for batters 3, 4, and 5 in the Florence order.
You said your father played pro.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. You said St. Joe.
It was St. Joe's.
And I'm trying to think. A Western Association. Was that what the league was called in those days?
I only have.
It was Kansas City. There were. Oh, not Kansas City. There was.
First pitch.
It was
to
in the Midwest
Lopez
League.
is
Most
foul.
of the teams were all in the Midwest.
Right, and he lived in Chicago, so he had a. He was training it back and forth, or back then they didn't have cars and all that. So, but at the end of the season, 18-year-old guys had to enlist in the Army, and he figured he'd put his year in. And I think month 10 of his tour, that's when World War II broke out, and he got sent over to Germany for 7 years. And he really didn't talk a lot of the war stories when he came back. It was, I think he always talked about there's like 600 people in his battalion when he started, and there was like 40 guys left.
Oh yeah.
And to find your way out of those numbers, and I feel bad for this kid. He's gonna go in the service, and God love him, but it's a tough life, man. I mean, when you're going overseas and the stuff you have to see as an adult, you can't even buy a beer, but you can get it. You're in the Army, and I have a buddy that he went over. He was in Afghanistan when they caught Bin Laden, and the stories he tells as an 18-year-old kid. It's like, oh my God. You don't want to have an adult see that, let alone an 18-year-old kid. So these guys that want to go in, God love this kid, because it's all because of them why we have our freedom, and you can't say enough for these guys. So and same thing with my dad with the Army. God love him that he did it, and I saw the story last week on Rocky Blyer on ESPN that he went back to the same place 40 years ago where he actually got injured in the war.
Wow.
And he actually got taken to tears and got heat exhaustion, and he was in. It's some of the stuff these guys see. It's crazy. So it's a tough life, but it all worked out for him, because I figure if he got in the big leagues, our life would have changed. We wouldn't have been the same. So thank God it all worked out. He found my wife, and all good.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's true. You wouldn't be here.
That's right.
If things were changed.
That's right.
It's just like me. I came here and met the most beautiful girl in Evansville, married her, and went back to Jersey, finished my college, and anyway was
swing and a miss. Opp goes down with a slider, and there's one away in the top of the 7th.
Had a great life, and came back here to let my wife spend some time with her parents, and here we are. What a great life I've had.
Absolutely.
Ops line coming into this game, 2.82 ERA, 22.1 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, and only 8 walks, and also 2 saves.
I'll be honest with you guys, as a parent, and I'm sure I could probably speak for all the other parents that are out there, that you guys are great to us. Talking the kids up, and especially when you're 400 miles away, you can't see your kids playing baseball. And you guys are great for the kids. So I thank you guys enough.
No problem.
So
we appreciate that. There's out number 2, and I found out that Opp lived in London for the first part of his life, and then he went to a boarding school in North Carolina in Asheville, and he said that I interviewed him one time. He goes, "Send it to me so I can send it to my mom," that I believe she's in London. Last time I checked when I talked to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got robbed in London.
Did you?
On the what do they call it? There's a name for the subway, not the tube. But anyway, I got on it, had the money in the pocket. I got off. I didn't have the money anymore.
Want to know the count to Isaac Bernard. He has the RBI single that scored 2 in the 5th to give Florence the lead. It is now 3-0 here in the top of the 7th. The solo home run from Connor Crane. 2-0 now the count to Bernard, and a lefty-lefty matchup with Cam Opp.
Well, coming into the bottom of the 7th, we generally score. Anyway, the 7th, 8th, and 9th are generally our innings that we score. Let's hope that we get some quality at bats, put some runners on, and hopefully score.
2-1 the count, 2 outs. Here's the next pitch from Opp. Fly ball to deep right field, and now it's going to be coming shallow. Greasaber's there for out number 3. 7th inning stretch time here at Bossy Field. We're going to take a quick break right here, and then we're going to come back to the bottom of the 7th at Bossy Field. 3-0 Florence on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
7th inning stretch time. Get up and move wherever you are.
Of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Bossy Field. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune, and Mr. Dave Cronin on the broadcast. The Otters are currently down 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Keith Griesaber to the plate, followed by Ryan Long and Elijah McNamee for batters 2, 3, and 4 in the Otters order. Bill, as you noted order, the Otters like to score a lot of runs in the 7th inning. They have scored 57 runs in particular this season in the 7th inning.
Well, we couldn't ask for a better batting order at this particular time.
First pitch to Keith Griesaber is foul down the first base line. A count at 2-0, or 0-1, excuse me. The Otters only have 2 hits today. One of them coming from Keith Griesaber, a single back in the 4th. He is 1 for 2 today. And thanks to the Stats and Information Department, next pitch to Griesaber is foul down the first base line, better known as Mr. Preston Leinenbach. Tyler Beardsley coming into this game. Today is the first time he's allowed more than 2 runs at home, and he has not lost a game at Bossy Field entering today.
Well, let's hope he keeps that record. If the Otters come out and get 3 runs, tie it, and then we go on and win it. But
next pitch to Keith Griesaber, that was a 50-50 ball. Keith gets the call in favor of him, as the count is now at 1-2. Castellani had good location on that previous pitch.
Mr. Castellani has walked 4 batters, Otter batters so far. We're in the 7th inning, and I would say let's take a strike instead of now. Keith swung at the first 2 pitches, but again, if this guy's walked 4, and now he's got what, 2-2 count right now?
Yes. Here will be pitch number 5 in the at-bat. And it's a ground ball over to Pintor at third. Throws over to first, out number 1.
Guy's got a good arm over there. Last night he played left field, didn't he?
Yes. To the plate now is Ryan Long. Ryan today is 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. He struck out in his last at-bat in the 4th. Ryan had 2 RBIs last night with a single and a double. He also has a run scored in the series and 2 walks.
Mr. Pugh was out there in left field, a defensive move, and the other night he came in and pitched it for the catcher who made a bad throw, Mr. Rinsky, and he struck him out the first time up, but then later, the second time up, he got the base hit.
That's right.
So he wasn't as easy an out as we thought.
Long takes a ball to move the count to 1-0. Castellani will come set, fires a 1-0 pitch. That's down and in for ball 2. Castellani, 53 strikes, 30 balls thrown.
50-30.
And make that now 31.
Yeah.
And they're warming somebody up in the bullpen, which is kind of crazy.
And
3.
That could be a good thing for us.
Yeah.
So 3-0 the count to Ryan Long, 1 out. The Otters have only had one base runner tonight. That was Keith Griesaber back in the 4th. Could have been J.J. Gould, but he wanted to extend his single to a double, and unfortunately was thrown out from Craport in left field to the second baseman Lopez.
Yeah.
So Ryan Long now has a 3-1 count. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Otters down 3-0. Castellani is right now pitching a 2-hit shutout. It's a chopper to first base. Crane fields it and tags the first base bag for out number 2. And now there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Elijah McNamee steps to the dish. He is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. In 31 games, he's batting .304 on the season.
Bill, you missed your pet peeve, Ryan swinging a 3-0 pitch. Usually you say that. I know that always gets your goat when they're at home. It's like, I know Andy gives them the green light, but why are they swinging at a 3-0? And Ryan just swinging at a 3-0.
You're right. And for year after year after year, I'm not going to.
Line drive over the outstretched glove of Wobrock, and that will be ruled a hit. Wobrock, a little bit frustrated with himself, thought he was able to leap and catch that ball from McNamee. McNamee on the board with his first hit today, and the Otters could possibly start a 2-out rally.
To finish that comment, I can't count the years anyway, but I have yet to see an Otter base hitter get a base hit on a 3-0 count. I mean, year after year, I've yet to see one. So I would say don't swing me.
When I was coaching, I tell the kids, squeeze the plate. Get on top, 3-0, get on top of the plate. We'll take the walk. It's all about getting on base. Get on top of the plate and make that plate even smaller. And, hey, take your gamble. Let him throw it. If he wants to throw it down the pipe 3-0, you're still in the driver's seat.
Right. I don't know. Now that you brought that up, there was in Williamsport the other day, and now that's the way the kid batted. I mean, he was down. I mean, he was this big.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see it?
Like a munchkin from
Yeah.
the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Well, I was coaching the college, Ashford University out there in Iowa. I had this Japanese kid, and he wasn't a ball player, but, he was a fan.
1-0 pitch to Lane, ground ball to Pintor at third. He throws over to first, and that will end the threat. Go ahead, Bill.
And he swung on the first pitch again.
Wow.
In other words, throw the ball no matter where it is, and Lane's going to swing at it. Anyway.
You had a player on your team?
A little Japanese kid. He must have been 5'1". And I gave him a uniform to be the bat boy. And a good fan. Anyway, I said, senior year, I'll give you a uniform, be the bat boy. So we were winning this one day, and I said, you're going to pitch hit. But now remember, bend over. I want you to get the... So he did it. He got so low, and he walked. So then I used him a couple other times, and I'd get a walk. This one day, it was there, and he had like a 3-0 count, and he swung at the pitch and got a base hit. I said, "This." But anyway, I did utilize get this down as low as you could.
It was your first hit at 3-0 swinging.
Okay. Never thought of that.
Oh, you said pro ball. That wasn't pro ball. So.
Oh, I never thought of that. Well, we're enjoying you up here.
I wish I lived in Evansville and I could be here more often. It's just...
It's
crazy.
It's a good time.
It's only been, we were here for opening weekend, and my wife's a teacher, so it's, like I told you guys yesterday, we tried to visit a lot more games on the road. I mean, Joliet's 20 minutes from the house, Windy City's 20 minutes from the house, Schaumburg's about 45 minutes. I went out to Lake Erie.
Did you go out to Cleveland?
We went out to Cleveland. It was just a 2-day trip because I was out there for work. We went to River City once this year. So the only park I haven't been to ever is Southern Illinois, and I'm just trying to figure out how I can maneuver my schedule this weekend and maybe possibly go out there Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, especially if we're going to clinch.
What's your wife teach?
5th grade. All subjects.
Okay.
Oh, God bless her.
God love her. I tell you, I don't know how she does it. Because I'm a sales guy and I'm a professional BSer. But as a teacher and has to shape the kids of the future, everybody thinks the teacher's got it made. It's a 9-to-5 job and they don't do anything and they got their summers off. And I tell you, they got one heck of a job they have to do. And, I give her all the credit in the world because there's no way I could do it.
Is she strict? Does she keep her students grounded?
Yeah, it's, they're 5th grade kids, so they're, with the internet and cell phones, there's just so much out there.
No, before I knew that in the 5th grade, when I was in the 5th grade, my 5th grade teacher was strict. She always gave us homework on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Always. Well, until the last week of school, she always gave us homework on Friday. Because she goes, you got a test on Monday, you're going to do this worksheet to prepare you for the test on Monday.
Well, she has some kids that the parents are doing this or that. We're actually at Office Max today buying school materials for the kids because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
It's just, you can't succeed if you ain't got it. So it's like, you know what, the kids have to have it. So we're at the store buying it this morning, and they'll be happy the next day. And she's bought coats for kids in the winter, and it's just.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty. She's a good person. She's much better than me. I couldn't do it.
We have a 2-1 count to Brandon Pugh, who came in for Craport in left field as a defensive substitution. And the count is now even at 2 with no outs in the top of the 8th. Otters down 3-0. Mike Castellani for the Florence Freedom has pitched a 3-hit shutout through 7 innings against the Otters today.
To be a teacher, you got to be dedicated. Because, just like you say, there's so much.
2-2, foul behind home plate.
There's so much a teacher does that they don't get recognized for, and a lot of times they're calling the parent at nighttime and saying, "Hey, your son or your daughter." I mean, they're home at night, but yet they're calling you.
Yep.
And Saturdays they may go in, and I know they spend their own money to decorate their
absolutely
boards and all that stuff. And oh no,
2-2. A ball ripped to right field, and that will be dropping for a hit. McNamee cuts it off, attempting to head to second now, retreating back to first is Brandon Pugh here in the top of the 8th.
Came in the other night, struck out, got a base hit. Here he comes in tonight and gets a base hit as well. Just slapped at the ball. Nice, smooth swing. Didn't overcut or didn't overswing.
And with a runner on first, the catcher Ryan Rinsky steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today.
Yeah.
On deck will be Austin Wobrock, the shortstop.
I meant to call my son-in-law about Mr. Rinsky. My son-in-law went to the same college as him. Ramapo was a pretty good. My son-in-law was a pretty good football, ice hockey, and baseball player.
He shows bunt, and that will be drifting into the Otters' dugout on the first base side. Count at 0-1. And the Florence Freedom attempting to play small ball right now. They got their lead runner at first. We'll try to bunt him over to second with 1 out, and then maybe to third with 2. We'll see what he does here as there's an 0-1 count with no outs. 3-0 Florence. 3 runs on 10 hits for the Freedom. Runner goes. Throw down to second base.
He's out.
And he is
dropped the ball.
Safe because JJ had the ball in his glove, and then it dropped out. A successful swiped bag for Brandon Pugh. And now, with no outs, Rinsky will try to bunt Pugh over to third. Ryan Long doing his job and playing on the edge of the infield grass, playing for the bunt.
And that was an excellent throw by the catcher, Calabrese, right on the money. You couldn't have asked for a better throw.
1-1. Down in the dirt for ball number 2. And the count is now at 2-1.
Well, that's how you win games. You play small ball, even going into the 8th inning. You're looking for that extra run. 3 runs is not enough to secure the win. This guy, he wants to add to it, and I give him credit. Sometimes 5 runs, 6 runs is not enough. But I got faith in the Soldier Boy to get out of this.
He's pitched in tight spots so far this season.
Always comes with a big strikeout when he needs it.
And not afraid of the pressure. Meggs playing on the edge of the infield grass at first. Both Long and him charge the bunt. Long fields it. Cronin covering the first base bag, and there's out number 1. A successful sacrifice bunt for Ryan Rinsky, and there's 1 away.
Well, if we don't pull this game off today, we got to root for Gateway tonight, huh?
That is correct.
It's going to be an interesting week.
Yeah. Well, I know last year it came down to the wire the last week of the season as Florence, River City, and the Otters were within a half game of each other with 3 games to play. And you were here last year. The Otters ended up clinching a playoff berth on the...
We were over at It was at that the team in Bloomington who they won it last year out there. It was Corn Cobs.
Normal Corn Belters.
Corn Belters. We were out there when they won it, and it was kind of neat. So it's kind of cool. Rather win it at home, but we'll take it wherever we can get it.
One pitch at a time is what I like to say.
That's...
As there's a mound visit with Cam Opp on the mound, Max will talk things over for the defense in the infield to see what they're going to do here. As a successful sacrifice bunt by Ryan Rinsky to move Brandon Pugh over to third base.
Well, Pugh's got some pretty good speed, and there's only 1 out, so you got to play in. You can't give up the run. Now, if there was a runner on first base, you might go play deep and look for the double play, but in this case, you got to play in.
Wobrock to the plate. If you remember, he was frustrated on the hit by the right fielder Elijah McNamee, where he dove and jumped up, and the ball tipped off of his glove for a single. He's now to the plate now with the infield in, 1 out, runner on third for the Florence Freedom, and this ball is grounded foul down the first base line. A quick 0-2 count to Isaac Bernard. Here in the top of the 8th, Otters down 3-0. 3 runs on 10 hits by Florence. The big hit was by Bernard in the 6th inning, where he had the 2 RBI hit. And here's a slapper up the middle by Wobrock, and that will score the run. The Florence Freedom extend their lead now to 4-0.
Now, the infield had to play in, so it's no fault of anyone. But as a former infielder here asking Mr. Cronin, I'm assuming you're cognizant of the fact that when an infielder plays in, they shorten their range of coverage.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it as a hitter when the infielder's in.
Right, and in that case there, that ball that was just hit, if JJ was playing normal, and we're talking now because he had to play in, but if he was in normal shortstop position, that would have been an out.
Automatic out,
yeah.
Absolutely.
But that's the benefits or disbenefit of having to play in. You shorten the infielder's range.
And now the Otter killer's up, this kid. See what he can do.
Connor Crane to the plate. He has the solo home run back in the 6th. He swings and misses at a fastball from Opp. The count is now quickly at 0-2. Still 1 out, runner on first. Wobrock comes through for the Florence Freedom with an RBI single, extending the Florence lead to 4-0 here in the top of the 8th.
So they've got 11 hits compared to our 3.
Correct. Castellani, the opposing starter for Florence, has kept the Otters' offense in check. As there's a swing and a miss and another strikeout for Cam Opp. There's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, or top of the 8th.
I think that gives him 90 now. I think he had 88 the other day, and that would give him 90. So, again, it puts him up in the lead. I'm surprised that Ryan Lone's got 90 strikeouts. I knew he had strikeouts, but I didn't know he had 90.
That kid's hitting 237 who just struck out. He must be hitting 900 against us.
Yeah.
Yes. To the plate now is the top of the order in Luis Pintor, who throughout the first month of the season, as he takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1 from Opp, count at 0-1. Pintor led the league in batting average, on-base percentage, and hits in the Frontier League. And since then, his batting average has dipped down a bit. He's now hitting .265 entering today. His next pitch is foul behind home plate, moving the count to 0-2 with 2 outs. Florence up 4-0, top 8, 4 runs on 11 hits for the Freedom, in the 4th consecutive rubber match between the Otters and the Florence Freedom. The Florence Freedom have yet to win a series against the Otters this year. They right now are in good position to do so, but the Otters will have something to say about it in the bottom of the 8th and 9th innings. Opp then goes with a breaking ball upstairs, and the count is at 1-2.
Now, just say that the Otters were to lose this game, they'd still be in first place by half a game.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have the tiebreaker over these guys, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's just River City, because we have won one series against the Rascals. Here's a fly ball, center field, going back is Griesaber, and he'll squeeze the glove to make the catch for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Mr. Dave Cronin and Bill McCune, as well as Dave Nguyen, on the call here at Bossy Field. The Otters only have 3 hits today so far. Castellani, the starting pitcher for the Florence Freedom, has kept the Otters hitters in check. If we look at the Otters so far.
Well, Mr. Castellani is the only one to hit the ball good. That was that one to left field, but he got thrown out going to second. But other than that, the two other hits that were registered, both were, well, not questionable, but they weren't good, clean hits.
Castellani, 4 strikeouts on the day, 1 walk, has only allowed 3 hits, 23 balls fouled today as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Now the Otters on Tuesday, I don't know if you were tuned in, Mr. Cronin, on Tuesday night, but the Otters, when they came back to defeat the Miners in Southern Illinois, they were down 4-3 in the top of the 9th, and the Miners walked the bases loaded to tie the game at 4, and the Otters eventually came through with their first come-from-behind victory after trailing after 8 innings. So we have seen this ball club come back before from deficits that were, in a way, manageable to come back from.
Hey, let's say the last 3 outs of a baseball game are the hardest ones to get. So you know what? You never give up until you get the last one, and you know, as long as you got one more out, you got a chance. And you know, they took their walks that inning, and it worked out for them. And you know, we still got 6 more outs. So you know, they always tell you don't count outs, but if we're on the offensive side, let's count outs, and we got a chance. So
to the plate now will be Rob Calabrese, followed by Mike Rizzatello and Jack Meggs for batters 6, 7, and 8 in the Otters order. Bottom 8, Otters down 4-0. Castellani pitching a gem right now for the Florence Freedom here at Bossy Field. First pitch to Rob Calabrese is right in there for strike 1. Belt high inside. 0-1 the count with no outs.
I don't think this guy breaks 85 miles an hour, does he?
No, I agree with you, but it's got the good control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the next pitch to Calabrese. He'll foul this one behind home plate on another breaking ball. The count is now at 0-2.
We got Pugh out there in left field playing a little deep. He's not going to let anything get by him. And Pinto's hugging the line, playing a defensive game. Give you the base hit, but not the double.
Center fielder's playing like short center. He's really shallow.
Yeah.
The 0-2 pitch, fly ball, right near shortstop and Wobrock. He says he's got it and will make the catch for out number 1. To the plate now is Mike Rizzatello.
Well, Mike has been known to start rallies before, getting those doubles down the left field line. Let's hope he can charge and attack the ball and unload it. Mr. Pugh, we don't know about his arm. The other outfielders we knew had grid arms, but I don't know about Mr. Pugh.
Unfortunately for Mike, he is 0 for 7 in this series, including today. He'll lift this pitch to left field. Going back is Pugh near the warning track and will make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, it might have been an out, but it's going to be a good out for Mike because he had a good stride forward. He pulled the ball, which he normally does, and that's when he's hitting well, when he's pulling the ball, because he's attacking it and he's getting out in front instead of hitting off the back foot.
To the plate now is Jack Meggs. Jack is 0 for 2 today. He did not play last night. On Friday night, Jack was 0 for 4. 0 for 6, unfortunately, in the series.
And Jack's mother's in town, right?
And sister.
Oh, and sister.
First pitch to Meggs. Ground ball to the second baseman, Lopez. He'll toss it over to Purst. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll be another clean inning for Mike Castellani, the Florence Freedom starter, who looks very good on the mound. Now 8 shutout innings against the Otters today. We are now heading to the top of the 9th with the Otters down by a score of 4-0. Mr. Cronin, as well as Bill McCune and Dave Nguyen on the call.
Fellas, I'm going to head out. I'm going to bring David's host families over there. Melissa and Kevin want to say hi to those guys because I'm not sure if we'll be back this year. But I want to thank you guys for a great year. It's a pleasure listening to you guys, and hopefully we'll see you. I'll be back in town for a playoff run. So
sounds good.
I'm looking forward.
We want to thank you for coming up and giving us a little insight in your son, who's a great ball player, a great young man. We enjoy him, and we generally refer to him as the spark plug of the team.
My wife loves hearing that.
That's good.
Anyway, thank you for being here, and let's hope we see you,
you got it. Thanks,
somewhere
Phil.
else.
Thanks, Dave.
No
Appreciate it,
problem.
guys. We'll see you. All righty.
Absolutely.
Right. God bless you.
Well, we're going to stay on the air as Taylor Wright comes in for the Otters. A non-save situation, but just to add on to the conversation, as I'm sure Mr. Paul Mattingly is having a good time in the studio.
Is he playing Frank? I mean, is he
playing Frankie? I don't know if he is because we've been on the air since the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay.
Well, New York.
Good conversations with Mr. Dave Cronin, a wonderful man. Was able to give us insight not only himself, but Dave's play as well, and him growing up. I had a chance to talk to Dave for an hour earlier this year on the podcast I have with the team. Taylor Wright comes in a non-safe situation, but trying to maintain this deficit at only 4. And if we really think about it, just 2 hits have made the difference today for the Florence Freedom. Really the 2 RBI single by Isaac Bernard, and then the solo home run by Connor Crane. Bernard and Crane have hurt the Otters this entire season, and they showed that today.
Yeah, well, as I said the other day, you know, there's certain players have certain ballparks that you just can't get them out. I mean, sure, you get them out, but they get 2 for 4, but they always end up hurting you. You know, they get that base hit or that RBI when they need it. And anyway, I used to love to play in Kingsport, Tennessee. Oh, you couldn't get me out. Then I'd play in Johnson City, and I couldn't buy a hit. So they were my 2 in the Appalachian League.
So Taylor Wright comes in. He's 3-0 with a .80 ERA. 52 strikeouts, 16 walks, in 44.2 innings pitched, 15 saves in 34 games.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get a save this today.
Just maintains the deficit.
Well, no, instead of having a 3-0 record, it's a 4-0 record. So
that's right.
You know, I mean, we're going into the 9th inning. We score 5 runs, and he gets the win.
That's right. First things first, Wright needs to get 3 outs for the Otters in the top of the 9th, and he'll be dealing with the top of the order for Florence. Luis Pintor, Ricky Ramirez Jr., and Caleb Lopez for batters 1, 2, 3 in the order. Here's the first pitch to Pintor from Wright. It'll be a swing and a miss. He goes there with a fastball. 0-1 the count, no outs. Pintor today is 1 for 4 with a single that happened back in the 6th. Wright will now come set. Gets the sign from Calabrese. Calabrese will set up inside. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a foul ball down the left field line. And the count is now moving quickly to 0-2.
If you recall, yesterday we had scored 10 runs, and there was one point, I think it was we had 6 runs, and I said, oh, I hope we save some for tomorrow. We need those runs today.
0-2 the count, no outs. Otters down 4-0. They only have 3 hits today. Here's the 0-2 from Wright. Check swing, and he goes around for strike 3. 1 away in the top of the 9th. Another strikeout for Taylor Wright. Make that 53 on the season.
Number 5, second baseman Caleb Lopez.
Caleb Lopez to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, and a walk. And what will be a righty-righty matchup, as Wright will take a deep breath from the left side of the rubber. Infield playing back for the Otters. First pitch. Foul behind home plate.
Good fastball right down the middle. And he got under it a little, and however, it was a good pitch.
Count now at 0-1.
Well, until the fat lady gets on the bus and sings, we still have a chance.
That's right. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Wright. Check swing. It's fouled into the Otters dugout. And the count, once again, is at 0-2. Got some fans cheering for his strikeout, and that would be nice right here. For a Sunday afternoon, it was not a bad crowd today at Bossy Field.
Well, it'd be nice if we could pull off the window. I mean, we got people there in the left field tent. We got people in the
0-2, swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Taylor Wright. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the ninth. Strikeout number 54 on the year for the man from Berwyn, Pennsylvania.
Andre Mercurio.
And to the plate now is Andre Mercurio, as Lopez struck out. A lefty-righty matchup. Wright needs to be careful here. Mercurio today is 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch. That'll be a ball upstairs away. Count it 1-0. Top 9, Otters down 4-0. Otters only have 3 hits so far in today's game.
1,600.
For the attendance today, and there's a called strike 1, evening the count at 1 with 2 outs to Mercurio.
Attendance was what, 1,590 something. 1,600.
1,592.
Yeah.
Fly ball over the head of J.J. Gould, and that'll be another 2-out hit for the Florence Freedom, this time for Andre Mercurio. To the plate now, as there will now be a pinch runner.
Number 6.
For Mercurio.
Number 6.
Number 6, Kevin Whitley.
I don't have this. Oh, yeah, okay.
Kevin Watley.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 11, right fielder, Isaac Bernard.
Isaac Bernard to the plate. He had the 2 RBI single back in the 5th to give the Florence the lead at the time. A lefty-righty matchup once more. Right from the belt. Fires the first pitch. They'll be down and in on a breaking ball for strike 1.
You know, I wanted to say it the other day, and I was just never got around to it. But you realize Tom Browning was one of the Florence managers at one time. Tom Browning pitched for Cincinnati, outstanding pitcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Next pitch, fly ball, shallow center field, coming under it and hustling. A great diving catch by Keith Griesaber.
You know, you called it diving catch. He actually left that ground and was parallel when he caught it.
He charged, hustled, and was there to make the final out of the top of the 9th. Mike Castellani trying to pitch a complete game shutout against the Otters. We'll see how they respond in the bottom of the 9th after this on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The 5th annual Blues on the Rock concert will take place on Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park in Rockport, Indiana. Gates open at noon, and live music starts at 2 p.m. with Jonas Cowan, Beyond Blue, Bosco France, Muddy Gut, and headliner Sean Murphy. The event will also feature multiple food and drink vendors as well as an art contest. If you'd like more information on the event, you can contact the River Basin Blues Society at evansvilleblues.com or visit the River Basin Blues Society Facebook page. Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
The Evansville Otters play here on 91.5 FM WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball, bottom 9. Their Otters are down 4-0. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call, and J.J. Gould to the plate. Takes a first pitch strike from today's starter, Mike Castellani. 63 strikes, 33 balls thrown, trying to throw a complete game shutout against the Otters. J.J. will take a hack at this pitch, and it's foul on the roof. Count at 0-2.
Yeah, you got to give this guy credit out there. He's really kept the Otter batters off stride. He doesn't have that blazing fastball, but he's gotten a good breaking pitch, and he's getting the ball over.
The 0-2 is a fastball down and in for ball 1. 1-2 the count to J.J. Gould. Will be Gould, Cronin, and Griesaber for batters 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Catcher Rinsky sets up inside, and that pitch is down and in for ball 2.
I'm going to say, my opinion, Dave, probably one of the best hit balls all day was an out, and that was by Mike Rizzatelli. I mean, it was out there, left field, deep, but he got good wood on it. So
J.J. had a single, and he'll foul this one behind home plate. Count remains even at 2. J.J. hit a single to left field and tried to extend it into a double, and there's a good throw by Craport to Lopez at second to tag out J.J. that occurred back in the 6th. Next pitch to Gould is outside for ball 3, and the count is now full. Three and 2 the count. Otters could use a base runner. Next pitch is foul down the third base line. Catches the edge of the bat of J.J. Gould, and this will be pitch number 7 in the at-bat up and coming.
Yeah, we need runners on, whether we get a base hit or a walk. If it's not a strike, take the walk, because we need runners.
No one warming up in the Florence pen. Payoff pitch. Another ground ball foul. And will be pitch number 9 up and coming after that was pitch number 8. Castellani, 67 strikes, 36 balls. And he's been off speed throughout the day.
He has.
And that has kept the Otters hitters off balance throughout the game. Here comes another 3-2 pitch. Another ground ball foul.
You know, you notice down there in the bullpen, a lot of those Florence pitchers have towels wrapped around them and so on and so forth. And I was telling my son-in-law, Jason.
Payoff pitch. Fly ball. It's now popped up in the infield. Crane is there and making the catch for out number 1.
We were over his house the other day, and there was these horse flies. I mean, they were big. And I was telling my son-in-law, I can remember back in Davenport, Iowa, where the flies were so big, I said 2 or 3 of them could pick you up and carry you away. We all wore heavy jackets and towels around our head, and that's the end of this picture.
And Mike Castellani, after tip our cap to him, he did a really good job for Florence today.
Why would you take him out?
I don't know.
I mean, all he needs is 2 more outs, and he's got a shutout. It didn't. I mean, I don't think he lost anything. I mean, he looked just as good now as he did in the first inning.
8.1 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Carl Craigie in to, I'm assuming, who would try to earn a save. Craigie, 36.1 innings pitched, a .50 ERA. He has a batting average against of 167 and has 46 strikeouts on the year. So, Bill, unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of things to talk about for the Otters offensively, as the Otters have only had mustered 3 hits today. One of them coming from Keith Griesaber, another one coming from J.J. Gould, and another from Elijah McNamee. If we need to go back to any inning, it would be in the 6th inning when J.J. Gould had a single down the left field line, tried to extend it into a double, and was unfortunately tagged out at second. If J.J. is safe, it's 1 out with a runner in scoring position. Would have been the first runner in scoring position all day, and Cronin to the plate with Dad sitting here, probably would have made a difference.
Well, yeah, and J.J.'s hit down the left field line was probably one of the best hits besides Big Mike's shot to left field. As far as we're talking about hits.
Right.
I mean, they were probably the 2 best solid hits, although one was an out, one was a hit. Other than that, we haven't done much damage with our bats.
Cronin might have something to say about that, as there's 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, we know his father's rooting for him, and we know his father was a center fielder, second baseman. His older son was a second baseman, and his father, I think, was a second baseman, or David's grandfather.
Yes. First pitch to Dave is outside for ball 1.
It was interesting to have Mr. Cronin tell us that his father was a former professional baseball player, playing in St. Joe in the old, I think it was Western Association or Midwest League. I'm not sure. There were so many leagues in those days.
1-0, pop-up, foul territory, third base side. And making the catch for out number 2 is Luis Pintor. Otters now down to their final out.
Well, it has been known teams have scored plenty of runs when there were 2 outs, so it's not an impossible thing.
It's not. This year, the Otters have scored 21 runs in the 9th inning.
Well, no matter what the score ends up, I mean, today we'll still be in first place by a half a game anyway.
Yes. First pitch to Keith Griesaber is foul behind home plate. Carl Craigie came in. And if you're Florence, I don't understand why you took out your starter.
I have no idea either. I mean, even if he gave up a run or 2 or a base hit or 2, I mean, he still was in a position to
complete the game.
Yeah.
0-1. That'll be a ball inside, evening the count at 1.
Unless this guy needs work, and they said, you know, the way things are going, he won't get in there, so we'll let him pitch an inning. I don't know. Who knows?
We don't.
No, the shadow does.
Next pitch to Greasaber is ball 2 inside. Count at 2-1 with 2 outs.
Shadow knows everything, but he don't tell us. Well, we've got what, Gateway coming in Tuesday?
Yes. This next pitch is foul behind home plate. The count will now be even at 2.
And didn't Gateway, I mean, we thought we were going to take 3 out of 3 out of Gateway the last time they were in. And
they threw their ace Jordan Barrett on the mound and shut down the Otters.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Foul. Oop, now blooping fair. Down the right field line. Rounding. Oop, now stopping at first is Keith Greasaber.
Good move. Good move. Don't take a chance. Don't get thrown out of second. We need that run. And besides, even if he did end up in second, what good is it? You know, we need 4 runs. We don't need 1.
To the plate now is Ryan Long. Ryan is 0 for 2 with the fielder's choice today.
Wasn't it one of those games away from home? We were losing, and Ryan came up and hit a home run, and it was 1 run short. Something like that. We lost 6-4, and he hit a home run.
Yes.
Something like we lost 6-5. So.
Yes. First pitch to Long is to shallow center field, and making the basket catch is Ricky Ramirez Jr. The Florence Freedom come to Bosse Field and win their first series against the Evansville Otters. Mike Castellani, your star of the game, a 8.1 inning shutout performance against the powerful offense of Evansville. Unfortunately for the Otters, there wasn't much offense. We have to tip our cap to Mike Castellani, the starter for Florence.
I certainly will. I think you hit it on the head when you said he changed speeds and he had us off our timing, and therefore we didn't do much. So we end up still in first place, but still not a commanding lead.
So the Florence Freedom score 4 runs on 12 hits. No errors. Otters have no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. The big hit of the game was with the bases loaded and 2 outs, runners on second and third, or first and third with 2 outs, and a 2-strike count. Isaac Bernard hits a 2 RBI single over the outstretched glove of David Cronin, who leaped in the air. And unfortunately, that sailed into right field for an RBI. And those were the only 2 runs that Florence needed, because Castellani kept the Otters in check. Connor Crane, the Otter killer, added another RBI on a solo home run to left field. And unfortunately for Tyler Beardsley, that is his first loss at Bosse Field this season, and the first time he has allowed more than 2 runs at home.
Well, it was unfortunate. We can't say there was any errors or bad plays that contributed to them scoring runs. And so anyway, I'm just making a note. I think you said coming in to this series we needed 5 wins.
We need 4.
No, at the beginning,
series, yes.
When we started, it was 5 wins out of 9, and then we won, so it's 4 out of 8. Now it's 4 out of 7.
Yes.
So the number of games gets narrower.
Yes.
And
so 3 more games here at Bosse Field, and that will close out the regular season. And then the Otters will head to Rent One Park to play against the Florence Freedom, or Rent One Park against those Southern Illinois Miners.
Right.
The Otters still need to win 4. They have 3 more games left at home. So if they were to clinch, unfortunately, it would be clinching on the road in Southern Illinois.
Well, now, let me ask you a question. When you say we need 4, if we do, we'll clinch on the road. where does the other team sit? In other words, let's say Florence here loses the next 5 games or 4 games out of the next 5, and Southern Illinois and Lake Erie. We would need 4 wins then.
The main teams that we're concerned about are the Florence Freedom and the River City Rascals.
Right.
So if they were to lose some games, that would help us out as well.
Right. We wouldn't need 4 wins.
Right.
Right. So we could win 2, and they lose 4. We'd still be in first place.
Right. All the Otters are concerned about right now is to defeat the opponent they have in front of them, 1 pitch at a time. Florence Freedom, we might see them again, as we know that Florence is a capable playoff team. The Otters are a capable playoff team. Clearly, with how hot the bats are that we saw from River City, that they can be a playoff team. So it'll be a battle for 3 teams in the Frontier League West Division. 4 teams, rather, because the Miners technically are still in it for the wild card hunt.
Yeah, ironically, I was having breakfast with my son-in-law and my beautiful wife, naturally, after Mass, and we discussed that insofar as he was inquiring, and I said, no, right now, the 3 of the Western teams are in the playoffs. However, there could be a possibility of all 4 Western teams being in the playoffs. A possibility. You're questioning that.
Because there are only 2 wild card spots in the division winner. So there would have to be tiebreaker rules in order to make that happen.
Well, it could happen.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It could happen.
A very small chance,
Yeah,
but yes.
yeah, but it's possible.
Very small.
That was all I was trying to make. It's possible.
It is possible. There would have to be what is called the play-in game, if that makes any sense.
Well, you understand it. I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
You know more than I do, so you're the educated one.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, for the Otters concerned, 4 more wins than they're in. I think that's all they really care about now.
Right.
They're going to take a day off tomorrow, and then they're going to be facing the Gateway Grizzlies for the last 3 games of the regular season at Bosse Field. Taco Tuesday on Wednesday, or Tuesday, excuse me. Weenie Wednesday on Wednesday, as there will be a hot dog eating contest on Wednesday at Bosse Field. And then Thursday will be Fan Appreciation Day.
What does that mean?
Weenie Wednesday?
No.
Okay.
Fan Appreciation Day. What does that mean?
There will be giveaways, discounted food and beverages, and a lot of prizes are supposedly will be given out.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully the fans can come out to support the Otters on the final 3 games of the regular season at Bosse Field, and we're hoping to play into September.
I do, too. I've had the honor, I turn, every once in a while I have a birthday. And there was 2 times within the last 15 years that I celebrated my birthday here at the ballpark. And I would love to celebrate my 45th birthday again here in the ballpark.
That's right. That's right. Well, Bill, appreciate you having on. We have to give a special thank you to Mr. Dave Cronin, who joined us for, 3.5 innings on the broadcast. And
right.
It was a wonderful insight to have him on the air today. We want to thank our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly, back in the studio. And we'll see you on Tuesday, 6:35 start, pregame show at 6:15. Once again, for Mr. Bill McCune and Paul Mattingly, I'm Dave Nguyen. Otters unfortunately fall by a final score of 4-0. A quick Frontier League scoreboard roundup. A lot of games are playing later on today. 4-4 between Schaumburg and Lake Erie in the 7th. 4-1 Windy City over Joliet. And River City has yet to play, as well as the Southern Illinois Miners. Once again, for Bill McCune and Paul Mattingly in the studio, I'm Dave Nguyen. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And remember, go Otters.